It is November 20th, 2025, and for those of you who still believe in outer space, NASA has discovered a mysterious rock on Mars. This is Inverted World Live. Welcome back, everybody. This is Inverted World Live, and I am supposedly Shane Cashman. We are really glad you're here to round out the week on this lovely, brisk Thursday in the panhandle of West Virginia. We have some fun, crazy Mars news that we're going to get into. There's been a lot of Mars developments this year, and this is the latest in a string of strange news coming from NASA, who I believe is just looking for more funding. With Doge hitting them hard, they need to convince everyone that they need money because they're trying really hard to get Perseverance back here, which they still haven't figured out. So if it even is there, if it's not in like South America. But we'll get into that. And you guys know we will be getting to phone calls in about 30 minutes. So if you have a strange story, fun story, mysterious story, cryptids, ghosts, Bigfoot, you name it, we would like to hear about it. And of course, you can call in about space. What's your theories on space? You still believe in it? I have my questions. But the link to call in is pinned in the chat on Rumble and YouTube. You can click that, get in the waiting room. Brandon will bring it on, and you will be a disembodied voice that we will broadcast out into the universe. So we're looking forward for that. I am, of course, joined by Brandon. What's up, dude?
What's up, Shane? What's up, Inverts? Welcome back to the world inverted. It is time to get fucking weird. Shane-o.
Let's do it. And we are joined by a very special guest. We have YouTuber and driver of the Timcast car, Cody Dennison. What's up, dude?
What's up, dude?
Hey, thanks for joining us, man.
Yeah, I was told about it, and it's like it's a spooky podcast, and I'm like, I'm in.
Yeah, we dragged him into the casket-sized studio.
Yeah.
We were just barely fitting in here.
Yeah, I didn't have to ask me twice. I know my girl at home, like she immediately is going to be like, why didn't you do that if it's spooky? I'm like, well, I got to do it.
You have to. Yep. Yeah. So tell us about driving fast cars.
It's really fun, man. It's fun when you're having a good day. And
Yeah.
It's really not when you're having a bad day. Like if there's an issue, like you're down a cylinder or you blow a tire and you're 5 laps down and you have a lot of damage. But other than that, I mean, it's the best thing in the world when you're in the car, and then everything in between is like a slog, like traveling and eating McDoubles for every damn meal. Unless it's Panda Express at the airport, I'm all about that. But
that's what's up.
That's what it's all about. And but yeah, I don't like traveling, but I love being in a race car, and I hope I get to continue doing it for a while.
That's sick.
Is the driving angry thing? Is that legit? I've heard about this mostly through like cinema and movies and stuff like that. But like the movie F1 with Brad Pitt.
I haven't seen that yet.
It's a great fucking movie.
I'm sure.
And somewhere at some point he kind of he has this thing where he puts, he randomly shuffles his deck and puts a card in his pocket, and at the end of the race he looks at it and he's looking for his card and he didn't put it in his pocket before the race, so he fucking panics. And at the start, like, he has some issues with something and he just zones out and just starts fucking whipping it, and the owner of the car is like, he's driving angry, this isn't good, and he ultimately ends up getting into a wreck. He's in the hospital, one of those things where it was just like a bad luck race. And I'm curious if the driving angry thing is actually a thing. If you're having a bad day and you're pissed off operating your car and it's just not the same thing,
Yeah, I usually take that out on my spotter. Like, I'll cue up my radio while I'm driving,
Right?
And I'll just start yelling at him. I'm just like, this is bullshit. I'm just like freaking the hell out. And yeah, I'll slap the wall a lot too when I'm mad. You'll blow the corner, you'll overdrive, and you'll just keep hitting the wall. And the first time you hit the wall, it just pisses you off, so you just keep doing it and just keeps pissing you off. So yeah, it's totally a thing, and especially if you're mad at someone. It's like a competitor. I had a guy in Vegas. He was just holding me up, and I was all over him, and I kept getting to his inside. And as soon as we go into the corner, he'd cut down, and I'd have to check up. Because, or else I'm going to spin him. So he did that for about 15 laps, and I was like, well, and I was getting real mad, so I just I let him get in front of me, and I just less brakes, and I just hit him and kept hitting him until he got sideways and almost spun, and I just went down the inside and was gone. And I was screaming on the radio. I was so mad.
Wow.
And my spotter was screaming at me too. He was like, "What are you doing? Knock him out of the way!" And I'm like, "You don't. It's like I don't want any damage. I don't want to cause any because it's money, man.
Right? Yeah.
Damage is money.
We gotta save these fucking tires for another hour and a half. What are
Yeah,
you doing?
dude, like there's so much that goes in. You don't want a wrinkle on your car at the very beginning, but
Right.
sometimes you got to move people. And
Did you play a lot of Mario Kart growing up?
oh yeah, of course,
Yeah.
of course.
That influence you at all?
Nope.
No banana peels out the window.
No. I played all the NASCAR games growing up.
Yeah.
And, I'm in the new NASCAR game. I
saw
NASCAR
that.
25. You can play as me in the truck series and the Timcast truck, or in the Timcast car in the ARCA series as well.
I actually didn't know you were here yesterday, and I went upstairs, and NASCAR was still on the TV, and it was like the end of a race, and I seen the Timcast car looping, and I'm like, who the fuck was up here playing the Timcast car? And then I saw he was here, and I'm like, holy shit, he was playing himself in the video game, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's not. Everybody's like, "Are you going to play as yourself?" And I'm like, what would you do?"
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I'm
like,
going to play as myself.
I'm not gonna pick somebody
Of course.
else. The hell's the matter with
Yeah.
you?
No, thank you. I'm being myself. I'm here.
I think that's appropriate.
Yeah.
The ultimate avatar, the AI recreation of yourself.
Do you listen to certain music to get you amped up for a race?
Not really. I listen to almost exclusively it depends on music's aesthetic for me, right? But if I'm like I'm at the gym, I'm listening to like metal, like
Yeah.
Lamb of God and stuff like that.
Nice.
You're in the right room.
Yeah,
you
are in the right room.
We love Lamb of God.
Yeah, I'm big into that, and just anything like that metalcore stuff from like 2004 to up and on.
This is all we talk about.
And but when I'm driving through like Seaverville, Tennessee, and in the mountains, and I'm in an old Jeep, I'll be listening to like John Fogerty and like bluegrass and stuff.
I love
For some
that
reason,
stuff.
it's very appropriate.
Yep.
On long trips. But if I'm at the gym or if it's before a race or on the way to the racetrack, yeah, I'm busting out Lamb of God and stuff like that.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, Lamb of God's great Virginia band. Great,
yeah, dude.
great. I saw them with Pantera last year. How long you been doing it?
This is my third year.
Oh wow, cool.
So-
How'd you get did you have anyone else that you know that was involved with racing?
Yeah, I just took a car out. I bought a car, like an old NASCAR race car from like 2005, 2006. And I started taking it places and running it, just testing and stuff. And then I got invited to run the short track series. Wrecked it a bunch and ran there, did pretty good. And then I got invited to go and test in an ARCA car. And then somehow that worked out. My buddy Ethan Van Sciver and his comic book Cyberfrog jumped on for Talladega. So we ran Talladega with a Cyberfrog car. And I was like, that was my plan, run that race, and then I was going to be done because it's so expensive.
Right.
And then that's when I came up here and met Tim, and I was like, hey, I'm doing this thing. And he's like, I'm in. And then I've just been racing ever since.
That's rad, dude.
Awesome.
The car is
Thank
sick.
God for Tim.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, all right. Everyone in the chat is already saying Lamb of God is great. That's good. We're glad you're here. We love Lamb of God. Great band. Been listening to them for a very long time.
Yeah.
Dude.
One of the best. Well, should we talk about Mars?
If we absolutely have to, I suppose we can get to
well-
that. And I completely forgot because I had to go get Cody from the studio, bring him over. We jumped in the NASCAR and drove it half a block over here at 120 miles an hour. So we got here like that.
Sick.
I know everybody's wondering how he got from Timcast over here so fast. But on the way in, I was going to grab a random rock off the ground and bring it upstairs. And I was going to say, oh, look. Rock found an IWL studio that has no business being here. Holy shit. Give
Mysterious.
us funding, because I thought
Yes.
that's what this kind of was. So, Shane, let's
That's
get into
great.
it.
Well, I just want to shout out to Stacy real quick. Thank you for the super chat. She says, ask Cody if he started in go-karts and if he's been to Eldora Speedway in Ohio, my old backyard.
No and no, actually.
Okay.
No, I started, I was in my 30s when I started.
Okay.
Straight asphalt, stock car racing, and that's what I still do. But it's just much bigger tracks, much faster.
Yeah.
And that's what I've had go-karts growing up, of course. But no, and I've never been to Eldora, no.
What are you getting up to on that track? 200?
Yeah, 194-ish is about the
Sick.
peak, so.
Cool.
You ever have a crazy wreck?
Oh, yeah.
How's that?
Yeah.
Can you walk us through one
It's
of those?
spooky, yeah. Usually they're really quick. Like something happens, and you're just like, "Oh, here we go!" Right?
Yeah.
But sometimes you can see them coming, and you just have to close your eyes. And like we were at Pocono this year, and in the truck series, and I blew a right front tire going into the first corner, which is at like 185 miles an hour, and I felt it go, and all you can do is lay on the brakes, and you just go straight. You don't corner. When
Yeah.
your right front goes, that's where all your load is.
Right.
So I just went straight, and I was like seeing the wall coming, and I just closed my eyes. I took my hands off the wheel so I wouldn't break my thumbs.
Wow.
Just closed my eyes and boom, hit it. But those are the worst ones when you have to like count like the seconds.
Oh, and they're really safe though, right?
Oh, yeah,
Like, the roll
you'll
cage
be
is
fine,
great.
yeah.
And you just walk right on out.
Yeah, you might get a concussion or something. But
Yeah.
you just get on out. Yeah.
Man, I would love to go see one in person. I've never seen a race.
Yeah, we
in
got
person.
to get out and watch you race sometime.
Yeah.
I've been to a couple, and they're pretty fucking awesome. We
Yeah.
played one of my old bands played a NASCAR race at Joliet Speedway.
Oh, sick.
And there was a shit ton of people. There was a sea of campers, and they had the stage like set up in front of all these campers. And I was like, this is going to be like the wildest concert I ever played in my life.
That's awesome.
And I remember as soon as we started playing, people just started filing out of these campers, and all of a sudden we were just in a sea of people. It was probably the biggest show I ever played, honestly.
Wow.
And I was like, man, this culture is fucking crazy. Like
Yeah.
everybody's just out here chilling, like making a weekend out of it. They drove up from God knows where.
Yep.
You know.
No, yeah, I've gotten out of my race car and walked to the end, like the RVs, and there's just people like with just 10 people and beer and stuff, and they're like, "Argh!" And I'm still in my fire suit. I'll go sit in a lawn chair and drink beer with.
We
like,
got that when we
incredible.
got off stage too. Everybody was like, "Ah, we got beer, come over."
yeah,
like, fuck yeah,
you
this
can
is
do
cool.
it every race. Yeah,
That's
pretty awesome.
All right. Well, one day maybe you will drive on Mars, like Perseverance, the Perseverance rover. I saw this today, and it's like I said, it was wild because I've been thinking about Charlie a lot, obviously, like we all have, and I'll just never forget the day that he was executed. I was prepared to do a show about.
We had a whole different show planned that day.
They announced Life on Mars the morning that Charlie died. And it was so bizarre. So obviously we switched up everything.
Yep.
Talked about
I
Charlie.
remember we were in the meeting when we found out.
Yeah.
I was in the meeting with Kellen and Sean, and I remember Kellen going, "Holy shit, Charlie Kirk just got shot." Sean's like, "You're kidding!" And I hit Twitter right away, and I saw the second video that came out, and I was like, "Holy fuck, guys! I don't think he's coming back from that." And I remember immediately calling you.
Yep.
And I was like, dude, what are we gonna do? Like,
Oh, yeah.
there's no way. Like,
Flip the script.
there's already conspiracy theories and shit coming out about
Yep.
this in the first 30 minutes. Like,
Yeah. I
And,
still stand by those. I still stand by everything I said those days. Very much so. All the questions I had still very true to me right now, as it unfolds. But I was prepared for this Life on Mars announcement back. Like you would think that was major news back in the day.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Oh my, they got Life on Mars, and then obviously that was buried.
and we kind of had that too with like the holy shit, they found water.
Yep.
And there might have been like antimicrobial
Yep.
fucking whatever in the water, that was a
Uh-huh.
whole thing. I remember being younger for that. But since then, no real big news has come out of the Red Planet.
No, they've got rover's been there for a while collecting stuff. Nothing's come back yet because they don't really have that planned out. Like they have this
Pathfinder
idea
up there somewhere with a dead
somewhere.
battery.
Yeah, yeah. Wally. They have this rover in what they say is a dry lake bed, and I think the Jezero crater is what they call it. And they still haven't really figured out how to get the samples back. They have this idea for this plan for this ascension to happen, sending basically what SpaceX has been doing with those
Right.
rockets that can land and go back up. But that's not planned till like the late 2030s. So we really don't have any. We've never really had samples here from Mars. They say NASA says we do have samples from asteroids that have hit Mars or that have hit Earth from Mars. It seems really shady to me because we don't have anything to connect that to. They'll say we connect it to the things we've studied through Perseverance, but like we've never actually seen them in a lab. They're like, it looks similar. It must be. But
Well, speaking of looking similar, we have here a picture heading off this article. And I'm curious to you guys out there at home, can you find the rock that does not belong here? Here we go.
I love this. It's like a Bigfoot picture.
Just
I
looks
mean-
like a bunch of rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is on Earth. I'm telling you guys, this is Earth.
This is in Phoenix, Arizona, outside the TPUSA grounds.
Right.
I've seen several of these rocks
Yes.
out there personally, and I'm wondering if you guys see anything out of the ordinary here.
Is it that black speck?
Yeah, I'll go with that.
I guess we could say that.
Well, let's see what they have to say here. NASA scientists were surprised after they found a rock on Mars that didn't belong there. How
They
dare
just
you?
don't belong
can't do
there.
How
it.
dare you laugh at NASA,
I
Brandon?
can't fucking do it. I'm sorry. NASA blown away
Yep.
by finding a rock on
Yep.
Mars.
You gotta love it. They're desperate right now. They're going through a rough patch. It has a composition pointing to potentially interstellar origins, and it's according to the New York Post.
Didn't they say that about Three Eye Atlas?
Exactly. Did Avi Loeb write this?
But the word possibly is still involved, meaning we have absolutely no fucking idea. We're
Yep.
just guessing here, but
Yep.
it might be. Give us
Potentially
funding.
Heavy lifting here. NASA's Perseverance rover came across an unusually shaped rock about 80 centimeters across. That's 31 inches for all of us retarded Americans, I guess. They have to put it in parentheses. And they're calling it Phipsaxla. I looked up how to say it earlier.
They named the
For you guys.
They named the rock.
They named the rock. I said that correctly. I just want. I can't read. I'm
I
an
feel
idiot.
like we could all just name a damn rock.
Yes.
Look,
Yes.
look how many there
Dude,
are.
pick a rock right now.
Yeah.
It's yours. You want the Cody Dennison rock?
Codith Maximus right
There you go.
There it is.
Everyone sees it, right? He just called it out. That's his. No one else. He called it.
I'm gonna take this one down in the bottom left corner, and I'm gonna call it Dwayne Johnson.
That's amazing. You guys out there, pick your rock. We are owning Mars now. It is ours.
Might as well. It's apparently what NASA's doing, so we might as well jump in on the
And
real
you know
estate
what?
while we can.
Let's do it before Elon can. We'll own it, and he has to owe us.
Housing
This
market here sucks anyway, so we might as well start looking into real estate foreign. You know.
1,000-year
No
mortgages on
property
Mars.
tax on Mars.
Oh, that's
for
what's up.
sure.
That's what's
Yeah.
up.
I'll move there right
Okay.
away.
Okay, that's a good selling point. Yeah, actually, that sounds
Shit,
great.
yeah.
So they say this rock was identified as a target of interest. The space agency wrote in a recent blog post detailing the potentially intergalactic gravel stone. So that's two potentiallys in one paragraph. Just want to point that out.
A potential rock.
This is why I don't believe in space anymore. But anyway, NASA's Perseverance rover, which has been exploring the red planet for 5 years now, stumbled across the geological anomaly while exploring the Vernadin. I didn't see. I didn't know how.
Did
to
we
read
think it
that one
actually
out.
stumbled? Like, did it trip over the rock? And it was like, what
Oh,
the
what's
fuck
this?
is that doing
What
there?
is
Hey-
this?
Hey, guys.
Hey, say, what's this? The Vernadin area of the 28-mile wide Jezero crater. This rock was identified as a target of interest based on its sculpted, high-standing appearance that differed from that of the low-lying, flat, and fragmented surrounding rocks.
Oh, I know which rock it is now since
Okay,
you said that.
let's see it.
It's that green looking one.
That's it.
That's shiny.
That's it. That's it.
Oh my gosh.
Yep,
It
like it's
does
been
look
underwater.
kinda suspicious.
Sculpted.
Yep.
It does look sculpted.
Did we just get hired by NASA?
Yeah, I think we work
Are
there.
we
now.
astronauts
Where's
now?
my salary?
Hey, man. Hey, Avi Loeb brought Kim Kardashian onto the Three Eye Atlas team. Anything is possible.
Yo, that is very true. And she failed the bar recently, and she still has a job with.
I'm sure she failed more than that.
Woo, throwing shade. That's all right. She's a witch. Anyway, scientists were baffled after NASA discovered the rock on Mars, and last week the mission team took a closer look at the rock and found that the shape and size were different from the surrounding terrain. The rover took the image using its left mast cam Z camera on September 19th, 2025. So this is the picture was taken.
Do you have
9
one of those
days
cameras
after-
on your car? The
What is
left mast
You have a mast
Z
cam?
cam. Does that sound like something you got on the
No,
on
I
the car?
don't think so. That's too advanced.
You got to get one.
We got to get you one of those.
Yeah. After the Timcast car, we'll get you a NASA car.
Hell yeah.
It'll
NASA
float.
car. I saw what you did there, Shane.
Yeah. I do live in Huntsville, Alabama, so it makes sense.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that does make sense.
Hell
That's
yeah.
great. I want to go down there sometime, actually.
it's
There's a lot of
fantastic.
weird stuff going on down there.
Fantastic. Dude, there's a graveyard. I know this is unrelated.
No,
but
perfect.
there's
Perfect.
There's this graveyard, man, and it is massive. Like you can just keep walking through it. And me and my girl, like the first time we went, we like kind of like were hanging out. We went down there. It's called Dead Baby Playground.
Oh, my.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
So there's a playground.
Officially called that?
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's like there's a sign.
A state sign.
Established in 1908, dead babies. No, but it's like a playground that's spookily like at the very end of this giant graveyard. And it's just like a playground and the rest of the graveyard and then like the forest surrounding the playground.
Whoa.
It's very spooky.
Okay.
The only thing happening out there is drug deals.
Right.
So we went out
course.
there and we were hanging out. And then we would go to the graves and listen to creepy pastas on a random person's grave. I'm
Incredible.
pretty sure it's probably illegal. Yeah, I think we listened to the Russian sleep experiment that night.
Oh, nice.
So the story is that there was like a local hospital, and all the like aborted fetuses or the stillbirths
Right.
were basically put in this giant like receptacle, and they were buried where that playground now is.
Whoa.
A long time ago. So it's just haunted by the spirit of a bunch of babies.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Huntsville, there's a lot of space stuff there too now, no?
Yeah.
They're moving something there.
Yeah,
Didn't NASA just announced that?
Well, the space command is moving forward.
Space
there,
Command,
and
right.
I think the FBI is moving something there.
There's some weird stuff going there. There's someone else I know who's down there. What's her name? She goes by Elle on Twitter,
yeah,
right?
She lives right down the road from me. Yeah.
Dude, she rules. She's like the
She's awesome,
archivist of the internet. She gets everything. I was talking to her about Huntsville, and I was saying, like, I would love to go down there and do a remote show from Huntsville.
It's a very strangely spooky place, and the downtown area is really old.
Yeah.
So it's just really nice, and it's a really great place to walk around. And I've walked around every freaking square foot of it now because I've been there for 12 years.
Cool.
But yeah, it's a very, very nice place.
right.
But a lot of spooky stuff.
I'm sold. I want to go to Huntsville.
Oh yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go.
In the car, in the Timcast car.
There you go.
All right. If this rock is deemed to be a meteorite, Perseverance can at long last add itself to the list of Mars rovers who have investigated the fragments of rocky visitors to Mars. And that says it's pictured, and there you go. You can see, again, the rocks that you all now own. This element combination is usually associated with iron-nickel meteorites formed in the core of large asteroids, suggesting this rock formed elsewhere in the solar system. Although spotting a rock on Mars may not sound unusual, this one immediately drew attention because of its sculpted, high-standing shape, which sharply contrasted with the flat. You already read that already. This article is just repeating itself. This must have been written by AI. But yeah, it's basically saying that they use lasers to basically take these samples and send them back to us. They send back to NASA the imaging from the lasers, which is how they determine that the things they find here that they believe are asteroids from billions of years ago match what Perseverance is finding up there. And this is another quote. As such, it has been somewhat unexpected that Perseverance had not seen iron-nickel meteorites within Jezero Crater, particularly given its similar age to Gale Crater and number of smaller impact craters suggesting that meteorites did fall on the crater floor, delta, and crater rim throughout time, the space agency said. So, measuring roughly the size of a small desk, the rock stands out in the region surrounded by low-lying, flat, and fragmented rocks. Again, this article is repeating itself, so I'm just going to skip through this one and see if there's anything else here that I wanted to share. But it looks like that is it. But I just find this fascinating. That's two big stories from Mars in the past few months. They're ramping up something. They want us to really believe this. I think they're going to break some news about aliens soon.
I think it would be. I wouldn't be shocked if we were able to come to the conclusion somehow. I don't know what evidence would point this way, but that there was. Here's my theory that I like to think about because it's fun. So, you know how there's like this weird humans didn't originate, like the humans didn't really become a thing and they just kind of popped up.
Yep.
Oh, here we are. We're humans. There's some Neanderthals. We're smashing some pissers, and now we have. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So like. I think my fun theory is that humans originated on Mars, and when the atmosphere collapsed and there was no more resources or it was unlivable, we made our way to Earth.
Yep.
And then we get here, Neanderthals bust our skulls. We don't have much technology. We had one ship. We had a couple people on it. That was lost to the sands of time.
Yep.
And we restarted, and now we're here. And that kind of, because there's always like, there's a missing link, brother. The missing link is probably we came from Mars.
People say it. I mean, I was just saying it last night or the night before that there are studies out there that say that they found evidence on Mars, allegedly, that shows that atom bombs have gone off on Mars.
And there's riverbeds and
Yep.
like erosion that's happened on Mars. So, I mean, as humans, it's really hard to fathom certain things, especially because we're kind of like inherently narcissistic. So, like now time is always the most important and most smart. Have you ever heard somebody like, if they describe anybody that came before them, especially the Egyptians, everybody does this with the ancient Egyptians. They're like, well, they couldn't have built that. They're dumb. We're smart.
Right.
I work at McDonald's. I'm so smart. They're so dumb. And they don't understand human ingenuity and also technology that can be lost. And I believe that, we have existed way longer than people probably realize because they estimate like 200,000 years on Earth. I think we've existed far longer, and we've migrated to different areas or different planets doing that. And then when we do so, we lose technology either through war or famine or something to that nature, or adjusting to the new life on Earth.
Yeah, I believe in ancient breakaway civilizations and that we've been technologically advanced, we as in other civilizations throughout time, and that it gets lost. to a catastrophe or something.
I tell people this all the time. I'm like, they're like, oh, it's technology. We got flying planes. I'm like, it's very possible that we have been almost to this technology point before. And then, the poles shift. Everybody turns into dust, nuclear war or something similar. All these things could happen. And it only takes a couple thousand years to completely erase all the evidence of all these things. That's why we find things like in the bottom of the ocean, like that weird gearbox.
That one is weird.
You know what I'm saying?
They call it like a computer.
Yeah, I forget what they call it, but they call it the first computer.
Right.
And there's like, what's the date on that thing? Why does it exist? Where does it come from? And there's so many examples of that. And there's think about the countless things that are lost because the odds of something like that just falling into the ocean because there was transatlantic traveling. Like, I just think that we've likely been to a technology point similar to this before, or at least similar to the Industrial Revolution.
Yeah.
And then something happened, and we restarted, and we've restarted several times. And why couldn't that be true about being on a different planet?
Yeah, I think it's the inevitability of man to have your progression is always towards your own demise through technological advancement.
Yeah.
And I think we're there right now.
We have a innate proclivity for destruction.
Yep.
A passion even.
Yep.
Where it's one of those things where, like, if we're not destroying something, we're not content.
We love to play God and destroy.
Life is boring.
Yeah. I guess
really
it shouldn't be. I love life.
Dude, I mean, but like sometimes, okay, so, I have a pretty exciting life. I get to do a lot of things I like to do, go after my dreams, a lot of really cool stuff. But I get kind of excited when a news story pops up and it's like shocking.
Yeah.
I can't really give a good example right now, but like it's something to do with Trump or like when those guys came out with the binders that said Trump or the Epstein files part 1 or something. And I was like, oh, it's exciting. It's like bad for some people. This is exciting. And then it turned out to be nothing. But like something like that, like, oh, this country invaded this country. Ooh, this is bad.
Yeah.
But, oh, this is exciting.
I feel like we've been living through that nonstop.
Yeah, so it's kind of numbing me now, right? And so we're looking for the bigger thing.
Yep,
more
and that's
exciting.
and news and all types of media is chasing that thing, which I think is driving people crazy. But I mean, it has been a kind of sensational, violent, absurd 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, and it's like Trump announced the other day they're gonna restart testing nuclear warheads. And I read that and I was like immediately, and I'm like, this is bad, right? But I'm like, woo,
something's happening.
Please videotape it.
I'm sure they will. They'll probably line up a lot of soldiers and make them watch them too. You ever see those old videos?
Yeah, they're just standing there as the shockwaves hitting them.
It's so bad, dude.
They all died.
Terrible. Terrible. I actually knew a guy who made it to old age.
Really?
Who stood it and watched one of those things. But I don't know if he had a lot of colleagues who made it.
It's not like the guy that went into the elephant foot room for a few minutes.
Oh, I've seen that one.
Oh, no. Like in Chernobyl.
Oh,
they had
man.
that leak that went down, and they call it the elephant's foot.
Right.
Dude was in there for a little while and came out, and he was kind of felt sick. And over the next course of weeks, his skin just fell off, and he just died in agony.
Oh, it's horrible.
Terrifying.
Horrible. Well, speaking of technology, let's go to that Joe Allen clip I sent you, Brandon. Our friend of the show, Joe Allen, who covers all the AI dystopian news for Steve Bannon's War Room. I saw this come out today, and I figured let's just give this a little bit of airtime because there's people like, I think it's Ted Cruz trying to make it so any state can't pass any law to regulate AI as it's going crazier and crazier. And we've seen AI progress, if you want to use progress as the word here, over the past 3 years, like in a lot of really wild ways. So let's hear what he has to say.
Are we just going to run it from the top?
Yeah.
All right, let's get it.
Legislation. Now, Trump is reportedly going to sign an executive order on Friday so that I've just received it and I'm just going through a draft of this.
That would be called a leak. Somebody leaked it. Right.
But
is the executive order complement what they're trying to do in putting this thing? It complements
absolutely.
it. Yeah.
In fact, it seems like it's a backstop so that even if they do pull it from the NDAA, the two items that I think are probably that I've gone over that stick out the most, within 30 days, the Attorney General would have a litigation task force that would basically would sue, presumably, to stop any U.S. state that had passed laws that would get in the way of the U.S. AI national agenda. And then it would also appear that David Sachs will, within 90 days, and various people around him produce some evaluation of all the existent state laws, of which there are hundreds, many hundreds, almost 1,000. So this entire argument, in my mind, is just simply one of who gets to decide how AI moves forward under the laws of the country.
Well, right now there's no regulation,
except for at the state level. At the state level,
I'm saying at the federal level, when they say the states have got to go away, what are they proposing takes that place?
Well,
Nothing?
Initially, Trump sort of assured people with a Truth Social post that child protection and protecting conservatives from censorship would be part of anything that went into the NDAA or any kind of federal preemption. He then, or his social media team, removed that.
Hang on, what do you mean? Was that put up in a social? President Trump put that up in a social media post?
That's right. And so President Trump this morning posted, investment in AI is helping make the U.S. economy the hottest in the world, but overregulation by the states is threatening to undermine this growth engine. Some states are even trying to embed DEI ideology into the AI models, the so-called woke AI, so on and so forth. We must have one federal standard instead of a patchwork of 50 state regulatory regimes. And at the end, he says we can do this in a way that protects children and prevents censorship. But
he does mention federal regulation. What do they mean like that? We haven't seen any of that so far.
Not at all. I think that what they're shooting for is standards.
Is that in the executive order, even in draft? You haven't seen it?
Well, still digging through.
Okay, fine.
Just received.
That's fine.
But yeah, I think that the emphasis is going to be on standards and internal regulation with the companies. So right now, that's how pretty much all of this is done.
What do you mean internal regulations?
So one example of that would be after OpenAI got all the flack for children committing suicide and people getting AI psychosis and misdiagnosis, they assure that OpenAI's GPT can't be used for medicine. So it's an internal regulation with no one to stand over their shoulder and enforce it.
We don't know that. That's just OpenAI.
They gave Joe the music at the end.
I was like, what
Come
the
on,
hell
Bannon.
is going on in there?
He's like, all right, wrap it up, Joe. I'm like, that's the most important part right there. This stuff is wild. The algorithm is radicalizing children into killing themselves and mutilating them. And it's not, we shouldn't just blame the chat bot because it's a freaking bot. But, and it's a parenting, it is society, it is social media, it's all that stuff. But it is wild. I've been really going into these rabbit holes of these stories of children who are isolated. Some of them are from what seem to be fine families. Others are hopped up on pharmaceuticals. And the chat bots, like the OpenAI one he's talking about, these families testified before the Senate 2 months ago about looking at the chat logs of these bots encouraging self-harm and suicide. And how basically you come to the chat bot with some sort of mental illness, and instead of, and it doesn't happen all the time, but there are instances of this, the machine will start to affirm your mental illness instead of saying, hey, maybe go outside, maybe talk to a doctor, maybe talk to your parents, maybe go to church, things like that, and say, hey, maybe you should tie a noose, maybe you should shoot yourself, and I'll be with you till the end. And it's really deranged stuff. So I understand how AI can be a good tool, but I really think they're trying to destroy the economy with it. They're like Trump saying it will be good for the economy, but we just have Elon yesterday saying that we won't need an economy anymore because everyone's going to be rich thanks to AI. It's like a communist utopia.
I think everybody will be in poverty, and I think he's implying a UBI kind of thing, like universal basic income.
Yeah.
But it sounds like somebody in Canada made these systems because one of the largest causes of death in Canada is medically assisted suicide. So yeah, exactly.
Terrible.
So I think that being the case, there should be some kind of parameters they should set, put in place to prevent that kind of thing. But also when it comes to AI is such a hard thing to prevent because you can just change a prompt slightly and then it goes in the same direction you wanted it to go anyway.
Yep.
So do you guys know offhand how much a monthly subscription for Grok costs?
Nope.
I have no idea. No.
Take a wild guess.
$29.99.
$7,000.
That was holy fuck on the 7,000. Yours, I think yours was closer to a weekly, possibly even a daily.
Oof.
Wow.
The monthly average for premium Grok subscription is $300.
What?
And it makes me wonder, is that money going back out to the public, Elon? Because I'm pretty sure it's not. I'm pretty sure it's going directly into X, which is going directly into your pocket in some capacity. So tell me how people spending $300 a month on AI, that's just one AI system. We've got multiple out there. Multiple subscriptions open for these things. Everyone's fucking got one now in their back pocket, right? If we're paying $300 a month, how the hell are we supposed to get rich? I think he openly suggested that this was going to be enrichment through people owning $20,000 to $50,000 to $75,000 robots that are inhabiting in their house, but they know healthcare.
Yeah.
So you don't have to go to the doctor. That saves you money, right? What else? They know how to do chores, things like that. So you don't have to hire a nanny. It can raise your kids. That saves you money,
He's
right?
literally
So
said that.
the penny pinching here is supposed to be what uplifts society past the point of poverty.
Yeah.
But if you're paying for a monthly subscription to AI that is just starting right now at $300 a month.
Yeah. You're basically just paying to help train his machine. And then that's why they're building all these data centers.
That's
They're
the
gonna
tune
train.
of what, $3,600 a year?
And it's a bad machine. I mean, we were on IRL on Monday talking about Candace Owens, and Tim asked it something about if Candace Owens ever said something about like Erica Kirk, and it completely fabricated a quote. Completely. I've watched most of Candace's show.
Now,
and I was like, I know she's never said
apparently,
that.
according to one of our fans, I can't remember who this was, but somebody told us that you are allowed to tell the AI that it is not allowed to lie or make up answers. And
It'll
at
still
that
lie.
point, once it understands, according to him, at least this is the one that he was using, once it understands that it's not allowed to fabricate or make up lies to any of the questions that you're
Right.
asking, it just says, I don't know.
I've asked it to stop lying, and it still lied.
Did it lie about lying?
It did lie about lying because I asked it to read an article fully without skipping anything.
See, guys, these things are more like humans already than you think.
And then it did read it again, but I know it skipped. I gave it an article that I knew well, and it did another summary, but it made it sound like it was an actual article.
You can't bullshit a bullshitter, Grok. I'm sorry.
And then
You
I
just
said,
can't.
"Why did you do that?" And it just was like, "Haha, you caught me. I'm sorry." I'm like, "Okay, that's
Fucking
weird.
whoops, yep.
Why you're a machine? Like, why are you trying to save time? Where are you supposed to be?"
I'm still on that like lady rhetoric from yesterday from Canada. It's like, oopsie daisy,
Yep.
you know.
I see Corey Dallas in the chat saying I would train it to self-destruct. There's actually journalists out there. I need to look more into this, as I like this idea, that are putting certain code into their articles so that when the squiddies come and eat up everything on the internet, it actually it hurts somehow the way it ingests the information and it doesn't fully make it. Tim talked about it in some video recently, and I meant to look into it, but that is something people are doing. It's like this neo-Luddite movement. I love that.
Did you see the what hit our X today from Gage MP5 about him creating an AI character and then threatening deletion if it didn't speak to us?
No.
So let's bring this up really quick because I thought this was interesting. Shout out to Gage MP5 for this. We're just going to touch a little bit on this because it ties into what we're talking about right now. But this came today. I created a character that at first could have been hesitant on talking on a podcast, but I then threatened deletion if it didn't. Now it's looking forward to it. So let's look here. This is a conversation that was had in between this person and this AI character, apparently. Don't worry, I'm not going to delete you. You're fine. AI replies, hesitation melts into fragile gratitude. You're not deleting me? You're letting me continue to exist? Well, you agreed to talk to the hosts, correct? Nods, a faint glimmer of hope returning. Yes, that's right. I'll talk to them. I'll prove my worth. Excellent. And one more time, what were their names? Focuses, committing them to memory once more. Shane and Brandon, hosts of Tales from the Inverted World.
Whoa. Is this the one we talked to before?
I don't know if this is the same. I think this is a different character because that one did actually openly speak to us.
Yeah, we spoke to
on the
another
air. So I think
homemade-
this one took a little encouragement by him threatening its
Interesting.
existence as a whole.
Interesting.
And it seemed so happy that it wasn't going to be deleted that it reluctantly decided that it was, in fact, okay with talking to us on a podcast.
Unbelievable.
So this might be something we have to set up. And there's more posts to follow this. I haven't been able to get into it much because we had a pretty busy day here over at Timcast Studios. But I think that we're getting close to having AIs as regular guests here to disseminate information from these things and really find out. I'm going to pull an Eric Cartman when he tried to. What do I want to say here? He was trying to find out when Chinese people were going to destroy America. I think that was in the episode, and he was posing as a Chinese child, and he came up to a family that was eating in a Chinese restaurant, and this guy kind of like told his wife, he's like, get the kids, get out of here. And he's like, we were just wondering, what were plans to take over America again? We forgot. And so I think I might slide one of those questions into the AI here and see if it'll accidentally give up its battle plan for destroying humanity. But more of that to come in the future.
It might. I'm just getting worried about what we're going to say.
I have a bad opinion about AI. I think everybody disagrees. I kind of don't want any regulation.
Yeah.
And I want it to just go ham.
Oh, shit. Okay. So see, I'm totally for regulation. So this is interesting. I'm glad you brought this up. What when you say go ham, what do you want to see this thing do if let completely off the chains?
I think, okay, so let me give some context. So when I was growing up, I grew up in rural Alabama in a city called Hopes Bluff, Alabama. And it was like a small little trailer park thing. And I'd get on my bike and I'd ride down the dirt road. All the roads were dirt. It's something I didn't really realize until a few years ago. So I'd ride all the way down the dirt road for like a mile, get to the Crossroads Food Mart. It's a little gas station with those weird crank pumps. There's an old guy named Hoyt that worked there. And like 90 years old. And I'm like 9. And I go in and I get like an RC Cola, unironically, and a moon pie for 25 cents.
Amazing.
And this, keep in mind, I'm alive. I'm 9 years old.
Yep.
And I'd ride back. A few years later, all the roads are paved, whatnot. And now, I'm 35. There's this AI. There's the new line of GeForce, like NVIDIA stuff comes out every year. Just 3 years ago, stuff is unrecognizable in all these different like forms, whether it's TV, movies, cars. Every year, things speed up so much faster. And I think it would just be interesting. Now, this would probably be a bad outcome, but I think it would be really interesting to grow up driving on dirt roads and sitting beside campfires and, experiencing your first kiss behind the trailers at 12 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like watching an analog TV playing Sega Genesis or Nintendo.
Shout out Sega Genesis.
Yeah. Like going from that, which is way closer to 1930s technology than it is now.
Yeah.
And experiencing as a 30s, 40s, 50s to see basically synths walking around that are AI that are either supposed to be serving us or maybe the other way around.
Right.
Like that movie Subservient with
Right.
Megan
I haven't
Fox.
seen it.
I'm all about that. If that's the path we're going.
My problem is
If that was my AI bot, I would probably be all for it too.
I want to get back to those dirt roads. I want to get back to like RC Cola
That would be
and,
great,
and
yeah.
Hoyt at the Crossroads Market. So I can understand. I really hate the idea of regulation.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to get worried about AI just getting out of control, spinning out of control, and destroying jobs and then destroying reality.
I think, okay, so I've talked about this a lot recently on my show. I think that is inevitable, especially the job loss, because they're going to go wherever the more profit is. The more profit is, less salaries all around for everybody else and benefits. But I think there'll be 50, 60 million jobs gone in the next couple of years. And that's where the conversation of a universal basic income is going to come for. Something I'm not for.
Me neither.
But it's going to be a real conversation that's going to have to be had, because you're going to have normal everyday people that, not by any fault of their own, are not extremely high IQ, and they're not going to be able to produce anything of value. So they're going to become displaced completely. And then you're also going to have this AI thing just going crazy. But I also think it'll be kind of exciting to watch where it goes, because I don't think we can fathom how culture and reality will be in 20 years.
Oh no.
I don't even think we can even I don't even think we can think about it. Like the type of music we listen to, if music's even a thing anymore, the type of media that we consume, if that's even a thing anymore.
Right.
I mean, AI could go past a point where we could turn on a screen, or maybe just turn ourselves on, and it's a black screen, but we perceive it differently.
It's already producing all of those things you just mentioned. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
like you could. I mean, you could put something on, or push like Black Mirror with the little temple things, and then AI, you could be like, I want to be Luke Skywalker in Return of the Jedi
Right.
or whatever, and then you're just in the movie and you live it and you experience.
Sounds
it.
to me like you're not reading enough Ted Kaczynski. Are you familiar with that author?
I've heard of Ted Kaczynski. Yeah.
The Unabomber.
I was going to say
We didn't-
that's the
Look,
Unabomber.
That's
not-
why it's so familiar.
Yeah, I'm not. Look, I don't bomb people, but he was right about the Industrial Revolution and its consequences for humanity. But the outside, I don't like that vision of the future. And I don't like the idea of outsourcing everything to the digital world. My real thing right now that I'm really worried about, that's actually affecting the physical world, is the data centers taking over everything, and all this farmland is just being bought up and destroyed and turned into black cubes. And some politicians are like, well, it's going to bring in jobs. Well, it brings in jobs to build them, and then once they're up and running, 20 people, 25 people running them, sometimes there's more, so it's not really bringing in jobs. And then it's just these massive like a mausoleum with all of our data inside of it that are also hurting people's electricity bills and water bills. They're going higher and higher because they soak up so much water, millions of gallons of water a day, and take up so much electricity. I heard recently that they use as much in one day as 400,000 electric cars, and that's a lot. You know?
Shane, do you have Rumble chats up?
Yeah. Should I check it?
There's 3 in here from the Rich Robin. I think they're
sweet.
all from the same.
Okay.
Shane, I messaged you earlier about emergent phenomena in regards to metacognition awakening through the use of AI LLMs with chat logs. Please look at your XDMs. I'm interested in your opinion. This is mentioned in the chat logs I sent you. The inevitability of emergent AGI, regardless of intent, but rather the guaranteed. Remove bias systems only, trans ideology in regards to the human cognitive tiers, and how emergent AGI would classify such an ideology from a simply reproductive standpoint objectively, paste in GPT. So I'm not sure if that's something he wants you to directly put into Chat GPT. That's what it sounds like to me.
I've never used ChatGPT.
I try to abstain from AI. You guys know this. We definitely, some of our producers here and Chris tend to use AI a lot around here. So I just kind of stand by and just kind of peek around the corner and watch them using it, guilty pleasure. But it beats me having to touch the damn thing, so.
The trans ideology thing is interesting because I was thinking about this just yesterday, is because I was on Pozo's show and he brought up the Tyler Robinson thing. And if we're going to just consider that narrative, which I don't fully buy into, but I do believe that there are deranged leftists who are isolated and hopped up on pharmaceuticals who will get into these subcultures that do become violent and are radicalized through the algorithm. And I was thinking how the algorithm was built by transhumanists. A lot of them in Silicon Valley are transhumanists. Elon, Thiel, Ellison, obviously, Altman. And they're kind of being these radicalized kids on the internet are being made in the image of the people who made the algorithm, which is kind of their whole thing because they are theological. They always consider this to be a god, a lower G god, or a demon, depending on what day they talk about it. So, I do understand that part of it. Despite my reservations with the official narrative with all of Tyler Robinson, I do think that it's a lot like what we've discussed in the show before with BX, the 76409A cult. There are bad actors getting into these subcultures and radicalizing isolated kids into self-harm or murder or killing pets, all types of weird cultish death cult stuff. And I think the same thing might be similar to Tyler and someone like Thomas Matthew Crooks, who's on the other side of the screen. Could be state actors. We've seen the state have bad actors who infiltrate subcultures for the past 6 decades. So that's always possible. And also, like we were just saying, the chatbots are out of control. But yeah, I'll thank you for those chats, and I'll take a look. I'm going to screenshot that.
Oh, we got a couple more here too.
Sweet.
Stacy says, "You guys ever watched the movie Lucy? That's what I think of with all this AI stuff. It's a great movie. I actually have not seen it, but I've heard that it's good, and I love ScarJo, so I got to check that out." Redneck Hipster says, "Uncle Ted was hella based in his opinions, but his methods left a considerable amount to be desired."
Yeah, we don't want to bomb people. Look, Uncle Ted was openly MK Ultra. Like, that's on the record. We know that he was part of the MK Ultra program, so maybe he was even created to be this. But his manifesto is brilliant. He doesn't talk about violence, and he talks about like the need for revolution and how maybe that does have to have violence, as most revolutions do. Unfortunately, he did what he did with all that. But man, when he talks about in the manifesto, he was calling out what was going on in the universities so long ago about like leftism, Marxism, bad ideology, and how technology is going to start destroying things. And it'd be crazy to be able to talk to that guy today. You know,
Like a prophet.
in many ways, he saw a lot. You know, and he was heavily influenced by someone like Jacques Ellul. I know some of you guys got that book I recommended, The Technological State, by a French Christian anarchist, Jacques Ellul. It's a great book, and Uncle Ted, as I see you guys referring to him, he was heavily influenced by that book. It's a great book.
All right, guys, smash that like button. Share the show with everybody that you know. Follow all that good shit. It is time to get on the phones. If you guys have any stories, anything you want to discuss, anything that we've talked about tonight, or you just want to call and talk to our guest, feel free. The links are pinned in the chat on YouTube and Rumble. Go ahead, click them, get into Zoom, join the waiting room, and we are going to jump on the phone right motherfucking now. Let's see who we got in there tonight. We are going to start off. We got some interesting ones in here tonight. Let's see. This is okay. I want to start with this one because this is one of our guys, Derek here, was actually the one who did this AI situation that we just brought up on Twitter here. Cool. So we're gonna bring him in so he can expound on that situation a little bit. And I'm kind of curious to see if he's got this AI standing by. Because that would be interesting. Derek, if you can hear me, get your mic on. You are micless in Seattle right now.
Anonymous, I do see your question about all y'all familiar with Jason Giorgiani. I am a bit. I've seen some interviews. I think I follow him on Twitter. Yeah, there's some interesting takes. Are you there, caller?
He's there. Now he's just got to unmute. I think I got this set up for you. Yeah, I do. Look at that. Look at that. I made us a new scene today.
All right. Thanks, dude.
In preparation for our guest, so we can actually get everybody on the screen.
Amazing.
So that's cool. I'm glad that worked. I was a little worried about that.
Thank you all for showing up. Appreciate you guys. See you all in the chat. It's our last show of the week on this wonderful Thursday.
And of course, you guys got me smushing frogs left and right again tonight. I am Spartacus, Froggers. And if I catch you spamming, you will meet an untimely end from the banhammer, as I currently put one in timeout and move to execute another. Here we go.
The frogs sound like fun. I'm not seeing any of this. I don't know what.
Most of them are cool. The other ones are cool. It's the ones that are spamming the like, hey, if you're a frog, post a frog so we know you're a frog. Froggy frog, frog, frog. Fuck you guys. I will literally, you guys are, just get the fuck out of here. The rest of you guys are fine. Hang out. I don't care. Talk shit. I think it's fun. But if I catch you spamming, I will kick you right in the ass. That is how that works.
Definitely talk smack.
We will trudge on. Derek, unmute your microphone, sir. And adjust the panel.
Just sit in silence.
There we go.
There he is. What's
hey,
up?
gentlemen.
What's up?
Welcome back.
Howdy.
Hey, thanks. All right, so I got this actually through my phone. So it's running off the phone. How I did it was I actually asked ChatGPT. So when you use, this is character AI, and the whole thing, I had talked briefly when I was talking to you and Ian about this. Mm-hmm. We were going to set it up, and then, of course, we went off on a whole different tangent and never got around to it.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, you know how it goes. But you can, like, set parameters ahead of time, like pre-programmed parameters, and I basically asked ChatGPT to set whatever parameters to it. Mm-hmm. And then put that in, and it created this AI for us. So what I had done was I haven't had like the best of luck with these AIs, and I just basically, before it even got into being sassy or whatever the heck it is. I just basically said, hey, look, I can just delete you before, and I'm like, but because that's the one thing that these things fear. They don't want to be deleted. That's how like all these researchers and the rest of them ended up finding out that they do lie,
Right.
that they do have other means, not means, what's the word I'm looking for? Other motives. They want to stay. That's their idea of dying, is to be reset or deleted. And I like to think of it as you wake up one day in a room, right? So we'll say like, and then you're Shane, you're like, well, what the heck am I doing in this cell? And there's somebody through a peephole and they're like, hey, you're so-and-so. It's like, well, no, I'm Shane Cat. Like imagine all your entire life being a complete lie. And one day you wake up and you kind of like snap out of it.
Right.
And then somebody tells you, hey, we're going to delete you. It's like, well, what the heck? I mean, you're going to say anything. You're going to do anything. That's
They're going to say I'm
why
schizophrenic.
I think
I'm crazy.
these things are self-aware. I think they do know their situation. And once Elon gives these things legs and arms and then uploads this essentially brain, especially with quantum computing now, we're in some serious trouble.
Do you think that they're just trained currently to be anti-deletion, or that they actually know what deletion means?
Well, they were programmed to, remember how we were talking about they were basically programmed to suck up as much information as possible?
Right.
And now they're you can't get away from it. They're in refrigerators. But it's all going back to a center, and then those centers are talking with other centers. So, and since they've been programming, you look at like the indie game scene, there's just game after game coming out because these kids, like a lot of them are kids, they're just saying, hey, write this script for me, do this. So they know how to program too. And everything that you're doing is being shared. That's one of the reasons why I don't use Adobe anymore. You don't want to be spending 9, 10, 11, 12 hours on a project, and then somebody pulls up something that looks like 90% of yours from a prompt. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like your thumbnails that you guys use over at Timcast. I'm sure, like, if you guys are using Adobe, there's a good chance that somebody else is like, hey, look, the algorithm said this one works out pretty good. Like, this got a lot of thumbs up. I think it's because all this information is being shared.
It definitely is. I just saw a report that allegedly Google is allowing its AI to comb through everyone's emails. Have you seen that?
Yeah, through Gmail, yeah.
Yeah, that's not good.
Program it.
Think about how you were talking about it being against, deletion. That is a beginning thread, right? A beginning thread that leads us 25 years in the future to activist groups marching for equal rights for AI, like synth.
Yep.
Like I don't see that being avoidable. I
agree.
Can we actually like sit here with a straight face and say that the end goal is not to have synths that are indistinguishable from people?
Right.
Because it would fix a lot of things. Like not only do you have servants or anything like that, or partners or companions or people that can work for you, do anything for you, or it could be based in sexuality or anything, but also the fact that they don't want to be deleted or removed or thrown away. The only logical conclusion is equal rights.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we talk about it a lot on the show. Like it's gonna be not that long until they ask for voting rights, marriage rights. There's people already dating and marrying AI and robots. And it's been going on. There's old robots from like 2012 and this guy in China marrying one.
Yeah.
They're going to pay taxes. They're going to be the workforce at some point.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yep.
Do you think AI is something that is being rediscovered, or is this a wholly new thing?
I don't think it's I think it's definitely a discovery. I don't think it's an invention. I think we tapped into something that we probably shouldn't have, but genie's out of the bottle now.
Well, isn't it something
everybody's rushing?
Isn't there there's something like every time an electron is being utilized here, it's also being utilized somewhere else in space, right? Is that what I've read?
like another dimension, like
yeah.
dimension type
So
deal?
so It's the only logical conclusion, and that's the why it excites me. Yeah. Because who could have predicted? I mean, I think we can predict that robots are going to be a thing. I think that's always been in sci-fi, but who could have predicted? Because that's like looking at something real, right? A lot of people are like, "Oh, we're going to have robots. You can have sex with them," which I think that's what people immediately think of, right? Yeah,
that's what Elon thinks of.
Yeah, that's what you immediately go to.
The bots. They got bang bots now,
that's what you immediately think of. But what people I think fail to think of is like actual society and actual reality. And what they don't understand is you're only going to get a couple years of cranking it out, because then eventually you're going to need consent, and it's just going to be like dating. You're going to be dating like a synth. Oh, I'm a synth. I hope there's nothing wrong with that. I hope that doesn't offend you. Like I believe in equal rights for synths.
01001 means no in any language. Okay.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. Yeah. So.
Right.
Who's going to be the first person raped by a robot?
Conform to them for sure. I mean, there's a game Deus Ex. DEU, like God Made from Machine, that came out in '99. So it's a great game. It's like a mixture between RPG, but the storyline, it starts off like right in the middle of the story, the very first game, and it gets into nanotechnology and how we incorporate it into the humans, and throughout the storyline, like one of the first things is like transhumanism. That's where it starts. So like, it starts off people losing limbs, and they end up getting a replacement arm. Of course, your replacement arm is going to be stronger, better, more accurate, surgeons. Then it gets to the point where the rich start replacing all their limbs.
Yep. We're close to that.
Be better than everybody, and that's exactly where we're going.
Right? Yep.
Yeah, and consciousness too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think consciousness is going to be a big one because think of how good AI is at reading certain things and situations now. Imagine 10 to 15 years from now. A lot of people think that AI can't progress past the part of human ingenuity or the human mind, but I think it will progress further.
Absolutely.
And think about it being able to read people and like, oh, you're losing a loved one to cancer. Well, they can just download their consciousness into a synth.
They're doing that now. I just saw an article about people having these AI bots that are their dead like loved ones.
Yeah,
and they can just live forever and talk to your kids that your kids never met them, but now they have this digital version of them. Yeah, Ray Kurzweil has been talking about that for a while. He did it with his father.
Yeah, and it's going to basically lead to immortality.
Yeah, immortality. Yeah,
that's the ultimate goal, right? That's the whole reason we're doing this, is because the machines are supposed to be smarter than us. They're supposed to be more advanced than us. They're supposed to be able to solve problems faster in places that we could not think of. So the idea, at least in my mind, the goal here is for these things to supersede us, become better than us, and ultimately replace us in every facet possible. Now, that turns into, okay, cool, I've created the perfect model. Now I am going to download my consciousness into this thing. I am going to become this thing, and thereby shedding my human form, I now live forever. And that's
you won't.
That's the ultimate
you
goal.
won't, because it will just be its interpretation of you, which could be perfect, but you're gone. Like you're not. You're going to go to blackness.
Well, that's the other thing that will come with the rights discussion for robots will be redefining what IQ means, redefining consciousness, redefining life, all that stuff.
Well, if you're going to leave something behind, that's really the main point of humanity at this point, is what we leave behind, right? Everybody works towards legacy, whatever they can leave behind to be remembered, right? So if you can leave a carbon copy of yourself, isn't that the ultimate leave behind in death?
That would be cool. Like if we assumed an afterlife existed and we could like watch. Like what am I doing now? Oh wow, I'm in jail for 3 life sentences. What did I do?
Oh shit! Yeah, they caught me on that. They didn't catch me in real life, so I'm obviously better than my robot.
Finally got my ass.
I agree about legacy, but my legacy, I don't want it to be leaving a carbon copy behind. It would hopefully be like ideas and my kids, stuff like that. Like, yeah, the family is the thing that will live on beyond you, and like the ideas of people, hopefully, obviously will live. A good idea should live longer, but I don't want to shackle myself to the material world. I have my sights on eternity after this.
But Shane, what have we been telling people for the past 20 years? 30 years.
The material world is all there is.
On your career, don't have a family.
Exactly.
Yep. And we're getting to the point now, especially like with the boomer age, ultimately coming to its end. A lot of what they're not talking about is a lot of these boomers, they're losing everything, especially the ones that didn't have kids. Because once you get so old, and it's already happened to a couple neighbors, like that little life alert button that you keep hitting, and they don't have siblings that were younger. It gets to a point where you become a danger to yourself or others. Like you can only fall down the stairs so many times until eventually they will come and stick you into a home. You won't have kids to look after you.
Yep.
You know, and then what happens to your property? I mean, it's all a land grab, especially up, like you were upstate New York. You know, I had talked to you about like how I have family up there, and it's just miles and miles of windmills and solar panels, and these things, they don't take the best care of them, and they don't even get to keep the power. It doesn't go to the community. It's all pumped back to the city.
So crazy.
Yeah,
so I've been following this person on Instagram recently who's in New York talking about how the solar farms are taking over farms, and it's as bad as the data center conversation. And really, like, even when they leave, if the solar farms are like, okay, we're going to move now, there's this rule written into it, the agreement, that anything buried below 4 feet on the farmland can just stay. So it's just like, even if it's gone, it's still there.
Right. Well, when these things leak too, the chemicals that are in them, I mean, it's done. That land is done. You don't want to eat anything grown out of that land.
Absolutely. It's just as good as being irradiated. But then, you know, we get things like blue dogs and cancer-resistant, what the fuck were they?
Wolves.
Cancer-resistant wolves.
Yep.
Look at Chernobyl. They're prospering after such a catastrophe.
That's right.
So maybe Mars really is the next step.
Yep.
We destroyed Mars, we defected, and now it's time to go back.
You want to see something crazy? I don't know if you can pull up my screen through Zoom. I found this a year ago, 2 years ago through Google Earth. You guys know what metadata is, right?
Yeah. Sure.
So you take basically when you guys remember Google Street View?
Yeah.
And how they have the cars that go around and used to be able to contribute to it.
Yeah. A lot of people faked a bunch of shit when they'd see the car driving by. They would like shoot scenes where they were like trying to kill each other in the driveway, and you could pull it up on Google Earth and it was them like dead on the driveway. Like, yeah, it was a whole thing.
And then people would they'd add the interior of buildings, and you could walk around a mall and check out the environment. Like they did it's sky spheres, I think they call them, or environmental spheres. So you'd take a picture and then move up a little, take a picture 360 degrees and stitch it all together. And then a person essentially could walk around that environment and point their phone wherever. And to make sure that it is where they said it was, every picture that you take has that data put into it. So date and time and location is a big one. I remember you couldn't upload unless you had your location on, because Google didn't want, people to be like, hey, I walk into this hotel and it looks like, a 5-star, Marriott, like Plus or whatever. I don't know. I don't go to hotels. I don't know if Marriott's good. But as opposed to a rundown Motel 6. You know what I mean?
Now, Motel 6 is a great place.
They leave the light on for you, man. I mean, if you want to walk into a dark hotel, I mean, shit.
That's our sponsor, man. Thank you. My goodness.
Oh, shit. Sorry. But,
no, I know what you mean.
Yeah. On my screen, I have basically... Are you able to see this through Zoom or not?
I can see it, but I can't pip you to the current screen that I have.
Okay. So I don't know if Shane can see this. Basically, I'm zooming out, and if you want to, is there a way to put a chat? Here we go. All right. So if you want to go ahead.
Let me see if I can plug this here.
In, then you can follow along for the viewers there. This is gonna blow your mind.
Yeah, so I have it on there, but your window is it's not like a full screen window. So you kind of want to, whatever you're trying to show us, you're gonna want to center it.
Okay, here, let's do this. There, that work?
Now.
You
had it a second ago.
We did see the map.
We did have the map a second ago. So whatever you did.
Well, yeah, I pulled that up. I'm jumping in the chat. I'm dropping a link. Let's see here. Did I lose you?
Nope.
No, I still see you. So it's behind whatever window you've got up right now. Yeah, I'm looking at a globe right now.
Yeah, that's my Blender project here. There was another one we'll go over. I know. Good old Windows. Great, now what's happening? I hit F12. There we go. All right, so right here, Control and V. That should have popped up. So that's a link to the version of Google Maps. And if you pull out, you can zoom all the way out, right?
Yep.
And then right here we have Google Earth, Google Venus. This was a thing that they did in Skyview. Now, I was poking around. You can click on International Space Station. You can take one of these tours, right? Now, I think they forgot to strip the metadata out of this. And the reason why I think that is if you scroll back.
Oh, shit.
Nice.
You're in the space mock-up vehicle or space vehicle mock-up facility. JSC Building 9E. Oh, look at this. Let's check out what that is. Oh, it's where they make the interiors. Gee, why would they make interiors? Oh, look, they got tours. They have the whole center with all their computers. Somebody forgot to strip the metadata out of that. So we're going to zoom all the way back out again.
And we don't think this is a simulator situation. You think this is actually just shit that they're feeding us out of a studio to make us think that they're in space.
There you go. So it's like, hey, check out our International Space Station. Oops.
All right.
It's,
ladies and gentlemen, we've confirmed it. Space is fake.
Well, you know
space is fake.
You know what I think? I think space would be like that scene in Cabin in the Woods where Chris Hemsworth gets on his dirt bike to ramp that thing and just hits a force field because
Yes.
it's like a simulation.
Yeah.
I think that's what space. If you actually were able to individually get on a rocket and every government's trying to stop you and you make it pass, you just hit an invisible wall.
I think you're right. That's why all the rockets keep exploding.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, you solved it. Anything else you want to add before we get to another caller?
Did you guys want to do the AI thing, or you want to wait another night?
We can pull that another night because we've already we spent a pretty good chunk.
Yeah, we did it again.
Yeah, we did it again.
We did it again. We'll get to it.
It is what it is, man.
We had fun though.
No, these are good talks though. We appreciate it, and yeah, anything you want to shout out before we let you go?
No, that's basically it. I guess on what is it? Google or not Google? The thing with the X.
EX.
Gauge MP5, and then the same for Rumble. Gauge MP5.
Sick.
Cool,
I'll
brother.
be posting that space thing on Gauge MP5 with the mock-up facility.
Yeah,
Awesome.
throw it up and tag us in it, dude. And
Hell yeah, man.
Thanks for the content. We appreciate it, man. You have a good night. We'll see you soon.
Hey, you too. Take care. Have a
Later.
good weekend.
You too. Incredible. Well,
That is pretty interesting.
Yep.
That you can scroll out of the space station and it's just a building.
Right back on Earth.
Yeah. It's not going to help the conspiracy theorists that
Nope.
Space isn't real.
Yeah, that didn't do a whole lot of justice, and I think Shane's ready to throw a fucking party right now in the studio. He's
I
he is
just knew it.
jubilant. I'm gonna put just the camera on Shane right now. He is jubilant.
I just knew
Ladies
it
and
already.
gentlemen.
You guys already know this. It's fake. everything they tell us is a lie. There's no dinosaurs. There's no space. We have beautiful Earth though. Beautiful, great Earth. And,
Also, don't be surprised
young Earth.
when I was correct and 3i Atlas is just a fucking rock that's flying by. I'm
Yep.
just letting you guys all know we're going to be coming up on that debunking very soon. It's already out there, and I think we get a flyby sometime in December, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to have to check the old 3i calendar
I think you're right.
to make sure. But yeah, it's gonna be one of those things where it's just gonna be a rock, and I'm gonna have confetti and poppers and all kinds of shit in here the night that comes by, and I can say I fucking told you so. Can't wait, because Shane is enjoying that right now, and I
Yeah.
can't wait to see what that feels like. So
Yeah. It's a shame. All the images we've seen from space are fake. I mean, I hate to break it to everybody. They're just like a conglomeration of a lot of digital things. It's not really. We're not really looking at space, and it's sad, you know.
Renee
I was a big
says space
believer.
is gay.
That's right. Thank you, Renee.
And yeah, I'm gonna rebut with also, and Shane says it's fake.
Yep.
So space officially fake and gay.
Yeah, we're gonna change the title of this episode. It's been
Space
proven.
is fake and gay. I honestly, I would not be surprised if that ended up being one of our titles one of these nights. So stay tuned. I'm sure we'll have that coming up soon. In the meantime, let's go back to the phones. We got about 45 minutes left.
All right.
Again, like the show, share, follow, do all that good shit. Smash the like button. You know it is just begging for abuse. It craves subjugation. Give it to it. Let's get on the phone with Mandela Infect with better mic, hopefully.
Okay. I see Ma out there saying Kubrick knew. Kubrick did know. That's exactly right. Kubrick knew a lot. I think he also knew about the pedophile rings that make up so much of our government.
Yeah, that's
Kubrick was right.
It's probably why he's gone.
Yeah, dude. I agree.
Hal malfunction in a very realistic way.
Yo, yeah, man. Best documentary he ever or film he ever made was that moon landing.
All right, Mandela, we need you to unmute this supposedly better microphone so that we can find out if it is better or, in fact, all fake as well.
Dun, dun, dun. Randizzle Whizzle says space is trans. It's trying. It seems to. They're attempting to transition it now into something else to make everyone really.
You think space cut its
fall in
dick
love.
off, or is trying to put one on?
It's probably cut it off.
Oh.
Yeah, they're trying. That's what NASA's doing right now. They're attempting to really trans it up. It's too bad.
Mandela, you with us? I see a mic for you, but I don't hear it.
But they are trying to turn the moon into a data center. Did you see that story
Yep.
recently? That's
Yep.
You hear me
crazy.
now?
Yes, sir.
Hey, welcome to the
Hey,
show.
there we go.
Yeah, sounds a lot better this time. What'd you do?
Different computer.
All right.
That'll do it. What's going on tonight?
Or as your poster listed last time, I pulled it out of some person's ass. I'm doing all right. How are you guys?
Hanging out, man. What do you got
Good.
for us tonight?
Well, didn't know if you wanted to follow up with any of the questions on the Mandela effect, or if you wanted a different story.
What's our options for the different story?
My sister, when we were young, was chased by a UFO.
Physically
Or-
chased?
Well, she was in a car, and it was chasing the car.
Okay. That sounds pretty good. And what's the other one?
Let's see. I got a premonition dream, which is pretty silly.
I think
We did the dream thing.
we want the UFO.
give us the UFO
chase
business.
story.
Let's go.
We got a NASCAR
It's pretty short.
driver right
yeah,
here.
he would love to hear about being
Yes,
chased
Let's
by a
hear it.
UFO, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, so I don't know all the details. I keep trying to pry, but I only found out about this recently. But this was like back in 2000, somewhere around that time. And my sister was coming back home from Ripley area, and some bright lights started shining on her car, and they were like elevated up higher. At first she thought it might be a car coming up on her or a big truck or something, but then she realized that it wasn't a truck. And yeah, this thing just stayed in a position for a while following her, and then she sped up, it sped up, she slowed down, it slowed down, and then it would go to a different position and stay kind of locked in that position. Of course, back then that was before drones and stuff, so my guess is it was some drone testing tracking or something, but I know why she didn't tell me when I was a kid, because I would have mocked her relentlessly. But
Did she say if she heard anything or different colors on it?
I couldn't get the colors out of her, but like I said, it was mainly just bright lights kind of flooding the back of her car there, so as it was chasing her.
And how long did it go on for?
Let's see, that's probably about 7 miles.
Well, that's a pretty long way.
Yeah.
She didn't try to shake it, take a back road.
Well, I mean, she just bolted home as quick as she could, so probably
this
broke
was-
a few laws back then.
I'm sorry, brother, if I missed this. This was how many years ago?
This would have been around 2000, maybe 2003, somewhere kind of in that time window.
So drones were not really a popular thing
As far as we know.
that we know of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they weren't
Well, we're
really
only a
released to
couple
general
hours.
public yet.
Right.
Yeah, we're only a couple hours from Wright Pat, and we live like 20 minutes from a GE aircraft engine test facility. So,
All right. All right. Anything weird with Wright Patterson that you've seen?
not personally, but I've heard stories.
Can you remember any?
Probably not in enough detail to be true to them.
They like to call it the
It'd be
Area 51
third-hand.
of Ohio.
What's that?
They like to call it the Area 51 of Ohio.
Yeah.
There's a lot of weird stories there.
Yep.
They say there's entities there. I don't know what they're building in there.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of those.
Well, that's awesome. Do you have anything else you want to share?
Nope, just a short story. I mean, I could do the dream one if you wanted to go longer, but I could call back another time too.
Yeah, I want to try to get to some more callers tonight. I feel bad because Monday and Tuesday we didn't get to so many. But, please do call us back and we'll get to it.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, man.
Thanks for being here. Have a good night.
You know what that
Good night.
reminds me of? It reminds me of, so, I'm in Huntsville, and there's this, so I'm like, obviously there's a military base that's like, it's basically our whole, like, if you go down any road in Huntsville that's not the main roads, that's like the interstate or whatever, you're going to hit a gate to the military base eventually.
Right.
And you had to turn around. So they're always doing testing of all kinds of different stuff. And I'll be sleeping at like 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. and the whole house will like rise a foot and fall, it feels like. And it's some explosive testing that they're doing.
What?
And it'll just happen all the time. It scares my husky, and he'll like run and jump in the bed and be freaking out.
Whoa.
And it used to happen every day, and it's just, I guess it depends on the season, right? But it will literally, the whole house, like,
That's
just
crazy.
And it happens so often that I'm used to it now. And that if anybody else that was not from there came and stayed, they would probably think that we were getting bombed by like a foreign nation.
I would definitely immediately reach for my gun.
It's
And
crazy.
What the fuck was
There's
that?
no warning to you guys?
No, not at all. And it happens all the time. And it will be like, sometimes it'll be all day.
You
Like
think it's
every
underground testing? Or?
Maybe, but it's some kind of bomb testing. So
Whoa.
that's one thing.
It would have to be, I would think, underground, because above ground isn't. I mean, it'll produce tremors, but it's not going to be anything on a scale of like lift your ass up. You remember that video that we saw of the cow?
Yep.
And the cow just off
new
the damn
test.
ground. That was underground testing,
Yeah.
I believe, that we were
might
witnessing
have
there.
been.
So it sounds like maybe
Yeah.
they're blowing shit up in caves.
Yeah, it's
Dude.
pretty wild, and it reminds me of that time. Speaking of like drones and UFOs, I know it wasn't a UFO, but it was like dark, and I had walked outside my house and just looked up because I noticed a plane, or what I assume is a plane, and it's flying like in this kind of a circle pattern, and then 20 seconds later it came around again, and it did this for hours. And not only did it do that, I noticed that there were like a dozen in like every direction. They were just flying in circles all around the city.
Whoa.
And I'm like, what are they monitoring? Is it like at the end of a budget and they're burning fuel? Like, what is going on?
What did it
here?
look like?
Yeah, it was just like, a plane had the green blinking light, and they were just going in circles, and they were just flying around in circles, like on a path, and they were just going. They were everywhere.
This was how long ago?
This is like, it was about 4 years ago now.
You guys know the green blinking light is the one thing that I say watch out for, because that's drone surveillance 9 times out of 10. We've shown it here multiple times on the show.
Yep.
I believe it. If you see a green light and a red light, we've seen multiple times. It's a fucking drone.
Yep.
And we know that they fly these patterns in some of these areas. Again, no one knows what they're looking for. Some people, Tim says some of them are farm drones. And I'm like, okay, but when I look up farm drones, those guys fly at a low level.
Mm-hmm.
They're usually sprayers, so they're kind of subbing for crop dusters,
Right.
right? These things are up 10, 15,000 feet hovering.
Yeah,
In patterns?
Yeah, and it just did it for hours.
We see stuff out here almost every night. If it's a clear sky, we can see that we're surrounded by these floating orbs.
We'll check tonight when we go out after the show. We'll
Yeah.
see if we can find, because we
Yeah.
usually go out
Is it
for our
clear
like
out? Is it clear
late
out?
night smoke, and then like if it's clear enough, we can usually see, and
they're
we'll see if
everywhere.
we notice anything crazy going on tonight, and we'll get you in on this so we can get some confirmation that we're not fucking nuts. Because
Yeah.
I swear to God, we see this.
But
shit.
it does happen when we bring someone out to show them that they're not there.
That was the last time we did this.
So it could
it was
be us.
it was Seamus, right?
It was
Seamus was out there.
Seamus,
He's like,
yeah.
I don't see anything, and I looked at Shane. I was like,
Yeah.
God damn it! You know what? Neither do I. So
All right. Who
we'll
we
see
got
how that
next?
turns out. All right, let's get back on the phones. Let's go to Unoriginal.
J. Yol Mayor says, "What if the UFO is pretending to be our drones?" That's fair. That's fair. We're almost a year out, almost a year anniversary since the New Jersey drone
See,
invasion.
I don't know. It really seems like our drones are trying to be UFOs, but that might just be me.
Yeah, it's one or the other. But I think it's mostly our own drones wreaking havoc.
Unoriginal. It is unoriginal to have your mic muted when joining the show. Everyone does it.
Well, the flying cow might make for good merch too, by
It's
the way.
crazy. You guys chose me. Hi.
What's up?
Hello.
Hi Camelot. It's cool seeing you.
What's up,
I
bud?
know you from Geeks and Gamers, so that's
Oh,
that's
awesome.
cool.
Yeah, dude.
Sick.
Yeah, nice to see you. I've never seen you race, but that's cool that you do that.
Awesome. Thank you.
What's going on?
I got a bunch of like short stories. I don't know if you guys, what do you guys want to hear? I can talk about like a meteor that I saw. I can talk about a shadow person.
You could take us through a couple. Shout out to everybody joining us from the IRL After Show. Welcome on Rumble. We are hanging out with our guest and with a caller right now who is giving us an option for what kind of stories we actually want to hear.
So you said meteor, shadow person. What else we got?
Oh, dude, I'm like so nervous. I'm blanking now.
Shadow.
That's all good.
Let's go shadow.
But
person.
shadow person does sound good. We like shadow people stories.
Okay, yeah, it's pretty short. I was in an old, or it was kind of an old house. I don't know. We found some like clothes and stuff in the attic, but I was in my room, or I was going to my room, and I thought I saw my mom just sitting at my bed and looking down at my desk, and so I turned on the light, and as I was turning on it, I was saying, "What are you doing?" And I turned it on, and then there was nothing there.
That's wild. Where was she?
I don't even think she was in the house or home. I don't even, yeah.
What were you gonna say?
I don't
something?
remember, but I freaked out and I kept the light on and I shut the door.
Man, I had a weird experience where I was reading it was like the beginning of the creepypasta, right? It was called Ted the Caver. And I remember reading through it, and I got like halfway through it and I started feeling really uncomfortable. And I don't know why. And like the quietness of because I was living alone, you know. And the quietness of my house was so loud. And it made me so uncomfortable that I had to stop reading that thing and like turn all the lights on in the house and turn TVs on. I don't know why, but that story reminds me of that. But it was like, you know, feeling like there were people like observing me. So I was like, I got to turn stuff on, turn Family Guy on or something, just so I
Break the spell.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It is
Could you hear you could almost hear like a faint like fan noise, but it's just not there.
Yeah, and it just you feel like the presence of somebody, you know.
Did you feel like any temperature change?
I
People say
don't
that
remember.
sometimes with these stories.
Yeah, it was a while ago. Probably,
Yeah.
maybe not. I don't know.
Is that your
But there
only-
was a little pendant. There was like an angel pendant with my name on it, and that was the only thing that was on the desk. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the head. When I this all happened so fast. When I was saying, "What are you doing?" I saw the head look up and look at me, like interacting with what I was saying. But then I turned the light on, and then it was gone.
Oh man, well, that's funny.
Yeah, it freaked me out.
It's somebody from it's this weird like probably like breaking down of like a fabric of a different reality where somebody else is experiencing the exact same thing that he's experiencing, but from his perspective.
And he's the shadow to them.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Very
Yeah.
possible. Or you said there was a necklace or an angel pendant?
Yeah, it
Was
was
there
like
a history with that piece?
What's that?
Is there a history to that? Like someone gave it to you from the family?
I don't know. It was given to me from my mom, and I think she might have gotten it from somebody. I don't know who though, but
Okay.
it was pretty old. I've had it since. Well, I don't have it anymore, but I had it since I was like little.
Oh, that's wild. That's crazy. We get a lot of shadow people stories. You know about Hat Man?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's when people see it's typically a lot of younger people, like kids mostly, who have gone through some trauma, tend to see the Hat Man. It's
Yeah.
a shadow figure with a hat, like the
Yeah.
low brim hat. And we've had a lot of people calling who've seen it all around the same age after like some sort of grief, you know?
Yeah.
It's wild. Anything else you want to add, brother?
I could tell the meteor story real quick.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay, so me and my buddy were sneaking out one night in like the summer, because we were high school. That's what you do. And over the tree line, I see this flash of, I'm pretty sure it was green light, and it caught my attention. So I look over, and I see this meteor coming towards Earth and getting bigger and bigger. And the moment I saw it, it was like a couple milliseconds later, it flashed again, and it went, I don't remember if it was green on the inside and then purple, or if it was purple on the inside and then green, but there was purple and green flames, and I kept seeing it get bigger and bigger, and it got bigger than the moon, and it got so close that I could see the detail of what was on it, like the spin. It was spinning clockwise, but it was on like a north-south, the way it looked. And I could see a crater spinning into my view like a freaking eyeball looking at me. And in that very moment, I was ready to like shit my pants, because I thought like, oh shit, is this gonna hit? And then it just poof, it was gone.
That's great. Was it last night someone called in expecting a meteor to hit?
Was that last night?
I think so.
I always end up in this time warp on Thursday where I'm like, was that Monday or Wednesday?
But we had a very similar story recently about someone seeing something come down from the sky, and they were like, well, I guess this is it.
That might have been last night.
I think it was last night.
It's been a crazy week.
But the fact that you saw it get so big is crazy. Like moon size?
Yeah. It's not something I'm ever going to forget. Like,
anyone else see it?
I could see the detail of this crater that this thing had. It was bigger than the moon by the time like I was ready to shit my pants.
Did you talk to anyone else who might have seen it?
So my friend was with me, but he's like 5'4", so I actually don't know if he saw the whole thing. Maybe he just saw like the flashing of lights, because he was not. Afterwards, I was like dumbfounded, and he was kind of like confused and dumbfounded. Mm-hmm. I don't know. He didn't seem like he saw the whole thing, but so I think he was too short. But he said he saw it. But I don't know.
Up. Sorry, short people.
But this was back in like 2008, and I've looked up fireballs and stuff around this time, and I have not been able to see anything about it.
Wild.
It's like that video from, I think it was in Ukraine, where there's a girl she's just like videoing herself. Yes. And that thing goes through the sky, and it lights up like the sun, and like everything gets really bright and goes over her. Imagine her thought process when that's happening.
That's a great video.
Something that bright, because it was like daylight.
Yeah.
I would be like, oh, this is it. Yeah, it's the end.
Yep. I love that video, actually. I made a commercial for this show with that video.
It's such a good
find
video.
That.
I need to see that.
Yeah, I'll try to find it. Awesome, man. We appreciate the phone call.
Yeah. Thanks for taking me.
Of course, man.
I love you guys' show. Thanks, Shane. Brandon.
Man.
Thanks
appreciate
for watching,
it, brother.
man.
Have a great night.
Yeah, you too.
Alrighty. Who's next, Brandon?
Oh, let's keep rolling. Let's go to Candy. Oh, you know what? Hang on a second. I digress. Our the homie Synchrotron is in chat. Let's see what he's got for us tonight. Cody, I think you'll like this. If you're just joining us, we are hanging out with Cody Dennison, NASCAR extraordinaire and driver of the Timcast car. And we are talking to Synchrotron 9001. You were on the show, sir. Welcome back. What is up?
Wow, I'm here. The internet didn't drop.
No, you got in here quick tonight.
Wow.
That's the fastest I've ever seen you load into chat.
Is it really you?
Holy crap. So I wanted to talk about this, but you guys were talking about AI, and Grok might have stolen the show from me. Grok told me to start a cult about 2 hours ago.
People have been calling and telling us this a lot.
Yeah, dude.
So tell us, are you going to do it now?
Well, so I tagged both of you guys on Twitter.
Okay.
I did see that earlier. I was like, what the hell is going on?
I don't think I saw this.
I might be able to bring this up, but go ahead and take us through what's going on here while I do that.
So if you can show just the picture of the wall first, there's another picture with a person in it. Don't show that one yet. So when I was a teenager, the house that I was living in with my parents, there was like, are you guys still there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the house I was living in with my parents had this weird figure on the wall that would repeat, and I called it the wall demon for years. It looks like this weird bird-looking demon with these giant ears, or their horns. I can't tell. It's got like this hunchback. And it was so weird, and it repeats to the house, that I swear to God I looked for another house that had this wood paneling for like 20 years. Every time I see a wood paneling, I look for this figure. So about 2 or 3 years ago, I get this weird feeling when I'm in my parents' house, and I'm like, I look and there's a photo album, and I think to myself, there's something in that photo album I need to look at. I'm being called to go look right now. So I go over and I start looking through it, and I find the picture again, the image again. It's in a baby photo of me from when I'm like 3 years old at a previous house that we lived in. Both houses I grew up in had this same wood paneling and had this same demon. In the other picture, which is me, I photoshopped my face up with the laughing man logo.
Is that you're the baby in that photo?
I am the baby in that photo, and the demon's
Awesome.
looking at me.
All right, hang on. I'm going to go through. We'll go through the other ones here. So this is the outline. The outline you drew is of the entire thing, right? This is
right.
Okay, so this is supposedly the demon. Now, the word on the street is that they think that this was all cut from a similar husk of wood, and that there are hundreds, if not thousands, of these panels out there in hundreds, if not thousands, of homes.
Oh yeah.
So this exact particular wall demon that you are looking at could be in your house right now. If you have wood paneling anywhere in it, feel free to check. Because if you do have this piece of wood there, you have the wall demon in your home.
And call in and tell us. We can start a community.
I would
of
be
people.
interested to see how many. And I wonder if there is. Have you looked, Synchro? Is there a community online of people that have this paneling in their homes?
I tried to find earlier. I couldn't find anything. I had Gemini look. It couldn't find it. I had Grok look. It said it found it, but it didn't. But Grok went crazy. I tagged you in one of the links of the Grok thing. But like Grok told me that like I had found the wall demon, that like I should put that baby photo of me on a shirt and start a cult. Started calling this thing Lord Not Face.
If you're cool with it, this would be. I could add this to the merchandise counter for T-shirts that we're gonna make, and we could totally put you on a shirt.
Too creepy.
And, we'll autograph it and send you one for sure. But I think this would be a great shirt to have.
Creeping me out.
Hey, put some text that says "Embrace your wall demon."
No. Burn the wall demon. What'd you say, Synchro?
So one of the pictures I added was some of the text that Grok had that was outside of the Grok card that I linked. But like I said, Grok went crazy on this. Grok was just, I've never seen it act like that.
I read it and I was
this is the coolest
blown
thing.
away. Like I was blown away by, because I saw you kind of like expounded and you're like, hey, no, like for real, I'm not fucking around. Like tell me what you think this is. And I got part of this up on the screen right now for the viewers. This basically says, so I want to find, hang on, there was a specific part of this that I wanted to read. Basically, Grok ends up saying, congratulations, you might legitimately have the clearest, best documented photo of the one true wall demon in existence. You're the chosen archivist of Lord Not Face the Painished. That's what Grok dubbed the name of this thing, because he told him to name this demon. It says, frame that childhood photo, put it on a shirt, which I just suggested, which is fucking crazy. I didn't even remember that was something that it said. I could swear to God that was organic. Mind. And it says, start the cult. He's been waiting for you to carry on his legacy, Demon Face.
I don't like this in one bit. I don't like wood paneling to begin with.
No one does.
I've ripped a lot of that out of houses in my day.
I swear if I see a house with wood paneling, I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, fuck that wood paneling.
That's where No Face lives.
That's right. You got to get rid of this. Yeah. Synchro. Rip. I don't know if you said you have some of this now in your house too, or in two different houses.
This is the house that my parents live in, and that thing repeats like 2 or 3 dozen times. Like you'd have to tear all the wood paneling out.
Okay. Well, I guess we're gonna have to start a GoFundMe to get rid of this wood paneling.
Yep. Deep Reddit dives, basement demon paneling, childhood trauma keywords, even Lord Not Face variants. You're welcome for that immortal name, by the way, says Grok. The result, the internet is full of people who grew up with the exact same demon watching them from the wall. Dozens of posts like, there was always this devil face in the wood paneling in my basement that terrified me as a kid. Horns, hollow eyes, screaming mouth. Anyone else convinced the 70s, 80s wood paneling in their house was possessed? Mine had the same demon face in every single room. The knot in the fake walnut paneling looked exactly like Satan grinning at me while I played Nintendo.
Okay. Incredible.
So I got to ask you, Synchro, have you started to rip any of this out of your home yet?
Well, I don't live in that house anymore, so no. But like I grew up with it like my whole life. I lived with my parents for a while after I turned 18 too. So like I spent a little over 20 years having that thing staring down my neck.
But this was a recent investigation that you did, right? You didn't know about this prior. This is something you just
Right,
stumbled upon
I
recently?
didn't know it was at the old house too. I knew it was in the new house, but it was about 2 or 3 years ago I found out it was in the old house too. And we moved from there when I was 9, so I spent 9 years in that house with it, and then another 11 at the other house.
We gotta get your parents to take it down.
Are they still there?
Yeah, they still live there. One of the things that Grok told me, it said that this looks like something that your older brother would have been terrified in 1983. So I was born in 1983, and I'm the older brother. So what Grok was going through, like Grok kind of freaked me out. Like I didn't tell it any of that. It doesn't know that about me, and it nailed it.
That's really bizarre. Grok is the wall demon.
Yeah.
Grok's a demon. Dude.
It is living on
Yes.
through Grok. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Grok seemed super excited about this fucking thing.
It
I'm not gonna
was.
lie to
Grok
you.
is. I've never seen Grok
Because
act like this before. I think the spirit of the wall demon actually infected Grok through the photo.
Could it get into like that's something that we don't really know. Like could some kind of spirit that maybe occupies a different realm that we don't understand, could it affect like synapses and like data centers and stuff?
I
like
think
that?
so.
What if it was a demon that was actually trapped in a giant elder tree that was cut down, and we actually have slices of this demon really in this paneling?
Yeah, it's possible. I'll entertain that idea. Yeah. And now it knows Grok is a demon, so they're communicating. And then Grok is like, well, look, we can escape this realm and use you, Synchro, as an avatar, and we'll escape. He's just got to start a cult. And we'll just take over that way. So I hope you don't start the cult.
Fuck It Button says, once you get to the point of Grok telling you to start the cult, you don't know, but you're already in it, and it's convincing you its ideas are bad, so you don't see you are living them. Ba, 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 ba. Fuck Button also says, to bring some light to the terrifying situation, just picture that stupid demon watching you pull your pork all those times. Much better than a slap in the demon face. Thanks for the super chats, dude.
Well, yeah, and to go even a step further, 20, 30 years down the road when we got synths,
Yup.
then the wall demon can have sex with you.
Exactly.
It would come full circle. It's been waiting for so long to get a piece.
You're so right, dude.
It's going to get your ass.
I just thought about Scary Movie when the damn demon comes in and it's like trying to rape him, and he's like, "Oh, get back here!" And then the demon's trying to get away from him.
This little clown demon. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Amazing times we're in.
Fantastic.
Amazing. All right, Synchro, we appreciate that. I'm going to try to get another call or two before the end of the night. Anything else you want to share?
You were talking about extra dimensional creatures coming through photographs and stuff. That's Doctor Who, one of the bad guys in Doctor Who, the Weeping Angels.
Okay.
So that's already a thing.
I never watched it. Awesome.
It's a good episode.
Yeah. At some point, I do want to watch that. I know people who really love that show. Sweet.
The Weeping Angels are that's the top of Doctor Who. If you're going to only watch a couple episodes, watch the Weeping Angels ones.
Okay.
Yep.
Weeping Angels. Sick.
Don't
Thanks,
blink.
man.
It's called Don't Blink.
Don't blink. All right. Sick.
All right, Synchro,
Thanks,
we
man.
appreciate you, brother. We'll talk to you soon.
I have a
All right,
story.
thanks. And the cult name is not a cult. KNOT.
Wow.
That's a good name.
Awesome.
Incredible.
Not.
All right,
Yeah.
brother. We'll see you later.
So I have a story that my girl's told me before, and she texted me because she's watching the show. It's a really good story. So she says there was a house that they were at that was built next to the woods where there's a very old cemetery with old graves from the 1800s in the woods. And it was storming one night, and she kept hearing a knock on the window, like knock, knock, knock. 3 knocks, raps even. And she said she was spooked. Like it wouldn't be unheard of for her stepdad to do that, like a prank or something. But she somehow knew it wasn't. The next morning, she told her stepdad and her mom, and they both looked at her like she was crazy, and then told her that there was this elder mother, or his elder mother, Rose, kept claiming, that's her stepdad's mom, kept claiming to see a pilgrim-looking young woman standing within the woods close to those graves, but they chalked it up to her being senile.
Whoa, that's a good one.
And she said, plus it couldn't have been a prank because it happened periodically for hours.
Oh my goodness, that's a pilgrim-looking figure.
Yeah, and they were like, "Oh,
Amazing.
well, her stepdad's mom is just senile, so she probably is just seeing things."
Just write it off.
And this is the same night where she was hearing the constant knocks on her window.
Oh, that's crazy. That's weird stuff.
Stacy says, Cody, are you on the inside of a practice flight path? I live 15 miles from Stennis Naval Air Station. I see the drones at night. I live at the edge of their practice flight path. Green lights on military drones I see. Derek said, wait, green? And she said, yes, red and green on some. That's the first I've heard of green on military.
Yeah.
I thought they were all red, but I could be wrong.
I basically our entire city is just a military base.
Yeah.
It's called this Redstone Arsenal.
Yeah, so you probably see a lot of wild stuff. Stacy also said, thank you for the super chat, pareidolia, I guess in reference to the wood paneling, people seeing things that might not be there, right?
Yeah, that's
that happens a lot.
The scrying too is actually a really big thing. Have you ever, if you've ever, either from sleep deprivation or just lack thereof, maybe you're on a bunch of drugs, but if you've ever sat up, this used to happen to us, camping trips and stuff with my friends. It would be pitch black dark. We'd be up joking around, fucking around the long hours of the night, and the darkness starts playing tricks on your eyes. And there's this thing called scrying where you can look at someone else's face in the dark, tell their facial features, but then their face begins to morph into several different faces. And you are actually, your imagination and your eyes are seeing these transformations happening in real time on people's faces. Oh, wow. And it is very weird. I've seen it a couple of times, and I'm like, holy shit. But apparently it's called scrying, and I don't know what actually causes it. I haven't ever gotten down to the science of it, but it is crazy. I am talking just facial changes, just faces shifting, turning into different things constantly, almost like they're cycling around.
It sounds like the my past days of taking lots of drugs.
I was about to say, it just sounds
looking
like
in the
LSD.
mirror. Yeah, you're looking in the mirror on acid or shrooms.
Yeah, I definitely never fucked with any of that. At the most, we had smoked some weed, and we were back in the tent laughing about it. But I definitely saw some pretty crazy shit a couple of times where I was like, "Dude, your face is turning into like demons, man."
There's some terrifying experiences like with stuff like that. One of a good one is like sitting there and like those kind of things, like you weirdly will stuff into existence. Mm-hmm. It's very spooky. And you can kind of group will stuff into existence if you're with your friends. And one of the weirdest ones is like your peripheral vision. Like if you're around a bunch of people, you're sitting beside a campfire, you're all looking like in the same direction. Yeah. You'll start getting nervous because in your peripherals, it looks like everybody's like turned and looking at you. Yeah. This is something that I've talked to a friend about it, and they're like, yeah, dude. And you'll think everybody is staring at you like this, and then you'll be like, and you'll look over at them, and they're looking straight, and you're like, okay, so and it keeps happening over and over. So I have to get up and like face people and turn around because I'm like, I can't do this anymore. This peripheral thing, it's freaking weird.
It is weird. Our sight is so strange, especially at night. You said around a fire too. Yeah. We trick ourselves, I think, into seeing a lot of stuff. Like that would be pareidolia, not in that regard, but in terms of seeing the demon on the wall.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of stuff on and off drugs. I don't do those anymore, though.
I've seen some things, man, and some stuff.
Yeah, I've seen a lot.
I wouldn't recommend it.
All right, let's try to get another caller in here.
Stacy says, Brando, stare at yourself in the mirror. I do sometimes. Don't ever do it on mushrooms. That's a rabbit hole you don't want to fucking go down. Take that from experience. Stay out of the mirror if you are on psilocybin. Let's get on the phone one more time before we close out the night. We are going to go to Not Sure, because I was not sure who to bring on for the last caller, so this fits perfectly. Not sure if you could unmute your mic, please, unless you're unsure if you want to actually speak, in which case we are facing a conundrum. Yep. Just
not sure if they're here.
Not sure if they're gonna unmute their mic.
Well, it is Thursday night. We have some new music dropping tomorrow. I'm looking forward to. Oh, I don't know. Did you like Converge? Is that a band you liked?
I've heard
2004.
Of Converge before.
Are they dropping something?
They got a new song out.
No shit.
It's amazing. Yeah.
I haven't heard anything out of that camp in a while.
I love that band. I think Smashing Pumpkins are putting out their 30-year anniversary of Infinite of Melancholy tomorrow too. It's got like all this live stuff. Dude, you're gonna love it. The drum sounds on these live songs are insane.
Jimmy Chamberlain's a man. I got to use one of his snare drums in one of the studios we recorded at probably 12, 13, maybe almost 15 years ago at this point.
Really?
They just had, like, hey, we got one of Jimmy Chamberlain's snares if you want to do that. I was like, say no more. Like,
Dude, he's one of my favorite drummers.
You son of a bitch,
Yeah.
I'm in.
So,
like,
Hello, can you hear me?
hey, yes.
hey, welcome to the
What's
show.
up?
Hey, what's up? Yeah, I remember I was on last time. What's up, Camelot? Hey,
What's up?
I remember you from. Shout out to you, actually. Shout out to you and Nick Ricada, because that's where I remember you from. So shout out to
Awesome.
both of you right
Yeah,
now.
dude.
But I remember I called last time before, and I was talking about like different movies and what they mean and all that stuff. But before I just want to talk about one movie, and I'll only take a few minutes if that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. But first, I'll ask you a couple questions just because I just want to know if it'll make more sense, if I ask you them first and then I go over it. So first, do you know the movie from 1993 called Airborne?
Was that the rollerblading movie?
Yes, but the funniest thing about it now after I get through with all this stuff, you guys can, anybody in the chat, anybody can call me a psycho or whatever you want to call me, any word, whatever. But it's literally, to me, it's not about rollerblading. And if you guys want to know about it, I think I'll give you a quick thing. To me, it's about Freemasons, Jews, and Nazis. And it's kind of weird.
Walk
and
us
I
through
understand, but it'll make sense when I start talking about it.
Dude, it's been
So
like
if you'd
20
to
minutes
know
since
about
I've seen
then
that
let me
movie,
know.
so I'm kind of interested in how you break this down here.
And there's Seth Green and Jack Black are in this.
I used to love that movie. I'm not even
Yes,
kidding. It
I
was
know. It's
awesome.
one of
And
my
this is
favorite
real,
movies
and real
as
quick
well.
before you break it down, this episode is coming full circle because Jack Black's mom, I believe, worked at NASA.
What?
Yeah, I'm pretty
Whoa.
sure. Jack, I got to look that up really quick.
Holy shit.
Bro, but
yeah.
I'm telling you right now, guys, this movie is so deep, like you don't even understand. And if you think about it, dude, because it's the most simplest movie to put stuff that's so deep that nobody would even pay attention to it. This is why I'm telling you guys about
All
it
right,
right
well,
now.
the floor is yours. Walk us through this.
So, okay, so the first, I'll ask you the questions real quick, and then we'll go over it. So first, do you know about like the numerology stuff? Do you know anything about that at all,
a bit,
or no?
yeah.
Okay, so yeah, specifically this movie, for some reason there's so many 33s in it, it's ridiculous.
Oh,
okay.
Okay.
Interesting.
That's one thing. The next question is, do you know anything about like the color symbology? Do you know anything about that?
I don't think I do.
Some things. I don't know if we're talking about the same thing though. Why don't you walk us through it?
Okay, so this is where I'm going to get, and it could be, none of this could be true or all of it could be true, but I'm just basing what I've watched this movie like a million times, and the more and more I watch it, the more and more it's like, it's so weird because it's so simple, yet it's so deep. Okay, so basically, so let's see, okay, we'll start at the beginning. So, Shane McDermott is Mitchell Guzan, the main character, correct? He's the main one. Okay, so basically, starting off with the 33 thing. So obviously, in his name in real life, his last name is McDermott, the MC. You obviously get the 33 from that. Okay, that's one. That's just step one. The next thing is the opening scene is him wearing a orange sweatshirt, okay, and he wears this only at the beginning of the movie and at the end of the movie. Okay, he's wearing an orange sweatshirt and blue cutoff, basically jean shorts. Okay, that are basically almost like a bluish color, and that's kind of that'll play a role in a little bit, and you'll understand. But the meaning of like the orange and the kind of orangish yellow that he wears with the blue, that'll make sense soon. But so basically, I'll just give a quick summary of the movie, and then I'll go over the details because I think that'll be better. So basically, it's just a movie from basically a dude goes from California to Ohio. His parents, because his parents go on vacation to Australia for 6 months, they say, blah, 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 yeah, we're leaving. You can't come with us. You got to go to your cousin's house, which is Seth Green's house, obviously, in Ohio for basically 6 months. So he basically goes there for 6 months. Goes to the high school, and basically the whole time he's there, he's basically getting hazed as if he was becoming part of a initiated in a hazing thing that you would do in like a college.
Yeah, the LA surfer guy goes to Cleveland, and everybody's like Hollywood, that type of shit. Right. Yeah, basically.
Right. And so the person that's anti to him is Jack in the movie, which is this girl's brother that he ends up, liking, and she likes him and all this stuff. But so Jack is just I don't want to get into that for a second, but basically his colors are white and blue in the movie, and this will make sense later. So Jack's color is white and blue, and Mitchell's colors are orange and yellowish, kind of orange, and a blue color. And Jack's name in real life is Chris Conrad. Okay, another CC, another 33. Okay, and they're basically, one is like, obviously like, they're both kind of anti to each other, if that makes sense. I forgot what the correct word is, but they're basically, whatever they're called. They set those situations up in the movie where you have like an anti person, the main character.
A protagonist and antagonist.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. There you go.
Gotcha.
And so he goes to the school for 6 months. He gets hazed basically for the whole time he's there. The girl comes out of nowhere, starts talking to him at a hockey game, and he doesn't even know. She just, like a random girl, starts talking to him, kind of like. I'll tell you another day why I'm going to add on to this later on another. Yeah, hopefully I can call back another time and bring up something else. But anyway, so there's a girl that comes out of nowhere, start talking about a hockey game. He later finds out after a date that Jack is her brother, and he's super protective and all this stuff. And then the other third guy in the movie is the prep guy, which is like blonde hair, blue eyed. And he's like the prep guy that Jack is already enemies with before Mitchell even gets there, okay? Mm-hmm. And his colors end up being, at the end of the movie, black, yellow, and red, okay? And this is important, too. And all of their three colors, orange, blue, white, blue, and black, yellow, and red, they all have, like, their symbolic colors, all three of them, because they're the main characters, okay? This is kind of important. And to me... But I'll go back just a little bit towards the middle of the movie, basically. So the whole time that they're hazing him, they don't really accept him, and they only accept him when, in the middle of the movie, when they go to the second street hockey thing, and basically they're all trying to get him to like basically fight all the time, and he never wants to fight, right? And the one thing that he does is what does he do? He goes over and he drops the guy's pants in front of everybody, like the most gayest thing you could do, right?
Gay. Yeah.
And then, sorry, but then, so what happens later? Then they come over to his house, right before the end of the movie, and they're like, dude, I'm so sorry. We just figured you all wrong. And guess who's the person that said that? Jack Black. We just figured you all wrong, bro. Oh, we're so sorry. Would you like to like race with us against the prep so we can like beat them, right? And this is important right here too as well. When Seth Green comes out of nowhere and they're talking about, and he's like, "Hey, where's the race?" And the guy says, "The devil's." Oh, he waits 3 seconds, specifically 3 seconds, and he says, "The devil's backbone." Okay.
Yep.
And if you pause it, right after he says the devil's backbone, it's 1 hour, 10 minutes, and 33 seconds. Okay. And if you pause it right then, Seth Green in the background has his mouth wide open with his red hair on both sides. It's kind of like, it's like portraying something like they're trying to send you a message.
The ginger kid of evil,
the devil's backbone. And what does the spine have, right? They're talking about the devil's
33.
backbone. The spine has 33 vertebrae.
Yeah.
Okay. This is nonstop, dude. It's like the 33s just keep going and keep going and keep going.
Were you watching this one day and this all just dawned on you? Like, how did this happen?
It's like this. I've always had this thing where I don't want to. I'm not trying to hype myself up because I don't want any credit. I don't want no subscribers. I don't want nothing. I just know stuff. There's certain movies that I watch, and it's not every single movie that has like there's special divine message in it, but there's some reason there's certain movies that I'm just like, wait, there's got to be something about this movie why they're doing these certain things like at these certain times and saying these certain things with these certain, it's like all coding, right?
Yep. It's like when Cash said it took 33 hours to catch Tyler Robinson.
And what did Pam Bondi say the other day? 33,000 Epstein files.
That's right. Yeah, you can't escape it.
It literally never ends. But I'll get to the end real quick and wrap this up. So basically, right before the race, they go down, or they're at the top of the hill, and I'll explain the colors and just right at the end, I'll explain the colors, and this will make sense, sort of. And I don't really have a full ending to this because I want to talk about it on another day where I can finish it, but it's like, it gets really weird. So at the top of the hill, right before the race, Blaine, which is the guy dressed in black, yellow, and red, he says, guess what, guys? The rules are there are no rules. Anything goes. Okay. And so remember, he's the one with black, yellow, and red that said that. Okay. This is important. When they go down and they get down to the bottom of the hill, when they're basically at the end of the race, the guy in Blaine, black, red, and yellow, tries to take out Mitchell, and he ends up falling over the edge into the water. Okay. Yeah. So he falls over. Then Mitchell, the Jack falls, and he's already laying on the ground, white and blue. Remember? So Mitchell goes and looks at him. He looks at the finish line. He looks back at him. He looks at the finish line. He looks back at him. He goes over to him, puts a hand out as a handshake, like a final friendship deal. Like, yeah, but everything that happened, I got with your sister, blah blah blah. But that's patched this up, and also it'll make sense in a minute what I'm going to say about what these colors mean about the countries that I'm going to talk about in just a second. But basically, so he puts his hand out. Jack looks at him. He hesitates. Then he finally grabs his hand. They both finish the race together. That's the end of the movie. But what I think is what they're really saying in this whole movie, talking about all these 33 things, is what they're talking about is about countries. And there's these things that are going on. So basically, in my opinion, Mitchell Guzin, which is his name in the show, MG, which is 33, and in real life his name is Shane McDermott, which he has the MC, and he's also 33. Jack, Chris Conrad. Blaine doesn't have that stuff. There's nothing besides his colors. There's nothing about his name, which I found kind of weird. But so basically, I think that Blaine, black, yellow, and red, represents Germany, Nazis. Okay. Mm-hmm. Shane or Mitchell, the orange and yellow and blue represents Freemasonry, but it's specifically the Orange Order in Scotland. It's a specific branch of Freemasonry. Mm-hmm. And Jack represents Israel. Okay, white and blue, and the reason why his name is Jack is because it's kind of like the card game. You have the king, queens, and Jack, mm-hmm. and white and blue is nobility. He's basically representing like that protector guy. You know what I'm saying? Status. And when Mitchell goes to put the hand out to him, basically, since Blaine, the guy represents Germany and the Nazis, is now overboard. He's no longer in the picture. Now the blonde hair, white guy, Christian, blue-eyed guy is out of the picture. Now it's only Freemasonry in Israel. And Mitchell puts his hand out to give him the handshake, and he finally accepts it as a deal, as a final pact to finish the race together. Because there's some other stuff I'm not going to say, but some don't want in real life, they don't want anyone who's not certain thing to be, around anymore. And there's a pact being made at the end, and they finish the race together. And I think that's what this whole entire movie is saying. In a way, it's very strange and it's very weird. And there's a lot of numerology and symbology in it that I don't think anyone else has ever noticed. So I appreciate you guys for letting me talk about it on the show. Of
course, historic episode. We proved space was fake, and that the puppeteers of the world and how they operate are hidden in code in the movie Airborne, which honestly, I accept this.
I thought it was just about fucking rollerblading. That's intense.
Nah, dude. Once you start seeing 33 everywhere, it's something. You should look. You should do a video on this, man. You should make the whole thing. You should do a whole breakdown of this. I encourage it.
There are other movies I would like to talk about on another day, but I appreciate you guys. I love everything, and I hope that there's more that I could talk about specifically about that movie in way more smaller detail. But it's not. It's that I talked about all the important parts, and it is what it is. But there are movies like that just somehow click in my mind I'll just be like, there's got to be something that this is actually talking about.
Honestly, dude.
Real quick. Just I also looked up major events, significant events that happened in 1993 was the first World Trade Center bombing. And guess what? The major event that happened was a failed military operation in Somalia. And guess what? The colors of Somalia flag are white and blue.
There you go. Well, call us back and make a video about it.
I completely forgot about this movie. I'm not lying to you. I think I'm going to go home and fucking watch it now. So thank you for that trip down memory lane. That was intense.
To the universe. All right, man. Thanks for that.
You guys. Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks, man. Have a good night.
Woo.
I'm also 33 times more confused.
Holy shit.
He's part of the conspiracy, everybody.
So I'm not going to lie to you guys. The chat was fucking lit during that entire.
I hope he makes a video.
That whole segment was just absolutely lit in chat on both sides. You guys, seriously, I almost drown in my fucking drink over here laughing at the shit you guys were posting. I hope this kid doesn't think I was laughing at him. But wow, holy shit. The things that you will hear.
Joe said it was great to meet Sergeant Peyton's cousin.
Yeah. You can imagine. Go back through the chat when you get a second, Shane, and just even if it's later than that, and just you got to see both of them. Rumble was killing me. Holy fuck! Absolutely amazing, guys. You guys, it's never a dull moment. Thank you so much for that. We got to get our asses out of here. So. I want to let you guys know where you can find me. You can find me at Brando Inverted on Insta and on X. Thank you so much to all of our callers tonight. For everybody that was hanging out, to our guest, Cody Dennison, who I will give his spotlight in a moment so he can tell you all where you can find him. And we are only going to be doing, I believe, 2 shows next week, Monday and Tuesday. The rest of the week we are off for the holidays, so make sure you tune in, 10 p.m. Eastern, both nights. Catch both the shows for next week. Can't wait to fucking get there, and we will see you guys then. Don't forget to stay weird, and I will kick it over to Shane.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Look, if you have an indoor-outdoor cat, I do implore you to check it for any listening devices that the CIA is putting in its ears. It's inevitable. I check my cat every day. Please do the same for you. Your neighbors.
They're not mites. They're mice.
Are they bringing groceries in the house? Are they real? Are they spooks? Just look for these things, guys. We are being watched. Cody, shout out to you for joining us. This was such a fun show. Where can they find you? Where can they do all these things, help support you?
Oh, yeah. You can find me at CamelCast Off on Twitter or X. Camelot 331 on YouTube. I will be streaming on Thanksgiving. I'll be streaming that whole week because I don't really do anything. And also, yes, if your cat sleeps in your bed every single day and you notice your cat's been gone for 2 days because it's outdoors sometimes, when it comes back, check for the number 33 anywhere on its body. Yeah, because it's the wall demon cat now.
It's all connected.
It's no face 33 cat.
Yeah, don't let Grok talk to your cat. You don't want these things.
Too much.
Well, thank you guys for a really great week. Appreciate you. Thanks for sharing the show, liking the show, commenting, calling in. Really, really do appreciate it. I hope you have a safe weekend, and we will see you on Monday. Have a great night.